That they're going to make some, but we got to hope that we can cut off the inside. Keep them away from the free throw line.
Kenny, both these ball clubs seem to be able to score and got some good scores on them. I think we could see a lot of points scored tonight.
This could be a high-scoring game, but then again, this might end up being a lower-scoring game than a lot of people anticipate because, see, Bobby's a tempo type of coach, as am I, and, you know, it just depends on the situation. They're not going to rush up things too fast, and our kids know that we're playing for all the marbles, and we're not going to be as impatient as we have been at times, and patience is a big factor here tonight.
Well, Kenny, no matter what happens tonight, congratulations to you, your kids, and the people of Fort Thomas Highlands on a great year.
Okay, I want to say hello to Bruce White and his mother, Ethel, okay? Bruce couldn't make it tonight.
Okay, thank you, Kenny. Kenny Shields, the head coach of Fort Thomas Highlands. Stay tuned. We'll be back and talk with the head coach of the Bearcats, Bobby Eads, right after this timeout.
We're Kentucky, Kentucky National Bank. We're the bank that starts out with you. We help to make you grow. Committed to the best in you. We're here to let you know. We're stepping out to meet you. We want to be a part of every plan in your future. Every dream in your heart.
We're Kentucky, just like you. Growing, building, changing to meet the times, but with a rich heritage and pride in our traditions. Kentucky National Bank, hometown friends with a new look and a new commitment, stepping out to meet you.
We're Kentucky, Kentucky National Bank. We're stepping out to meet you. Kentucky National Bank.
Member FDIC.
Honey, if you have those buckets yet, the water's up to the third step and it's still rising.
Here they are. Boy, I never thought the basement would flood this badly.
I told you we should have called Davis Waterproofing before it started to rain.
Davis Waterproofing? You know I don't trust those big companies.
Davis Waterproofing is a local company at 6459 DeCourcy in Covington, serving Boone, Kenton, and Campbell counties. And they're fully bonded and insured. All it takes is a phone call.
Just a phone call? That's easier than draining this basement.
It would have been. Now start bailing.
Before the spring rains invade your basement, call the basement specialists, Davis Waterproofing, at 356-6671.
Well, welcome back live at Holmes High School. You're listening to 9th Region Basketball on WSAI, and I'm joined now by Bobby Eads, the head coach of one of the teams in this tournament, our Walton Bearcats. And Bobby, you've got to be thrilled that you're here, and I think maybe if you look back at the beginning of your year, this has got to be maybe a little more than you anticipated.
Well, you know, with the young kids we've played all year, you always set your sights for something like this. And again, we want to take advantage of it if we possibly can. But we want to come out once again and play as hard as we can, do the best we can, like we've done every night for 31 ball games, and just see what happens. But you know, early in the year, we're struggling with our guard play, and you know, we're not really sure which way we're headed. And you know, with the schedule we played, I think it's paid off, and it's got us where we're at right now.
Bobby, you and the administration of Walton, you made a big decision. You decided if you're ever going to go anywhere in the 9th Region basketball, you've got to change some things. And you went away from playing an A schedule, you're an A school, and you decided to play the big boys. And I think this is a result of that, and you mentioned that your schedule, and that had to be a major decision on your part, but it's worked out for you well.
Well, John, there was two reasons. One, financially, we were really getting hurt at the gate, and two, the competitiveness of the schedule. And, you know, you need flexibility in your schedule. I realize that Scott Benton and Kyle Bennett are leaving after this year, and Sean Anderson. But we need, you need that flexibility, and I think every team needs that. So when you got kids come along, you're not tied up into a schedule. You need to meet the needs of that team.
Bobby, 1972, the last A team to come to the regional finals was Holy Cross, and they defeated Holmes that night out at Connor. And maybe a little Cinderella story for your ball club, the same thing tonight.
Well, we don't look at it as Cinderella. We just look at it as 5 guys on the floor going at it and trying to earn that trip to Rupp Arena. And I told our kids the road's rough through Walton, and I hope that we're making that trip after tonight.
Bobby, we look at Scott Benton. Of course, he's going to be a key for your ball club, and he's had 2 tough physical ball games back-to-back with Covington Catholic and Campbell County. How is he physically? Does he appear all right to you?
Well, he's had a little problem coming back, but I think the emotional part of being in the regional finals will overcome that part of it, because he wants to get there. You know, I feel like he's a competitor, and and he's just a good basketball player, and he's taken a lot of criticism at times, like I said last night. But I look for him to come out and play another whale of a ball game.
Bobby, as you look at Fort Thomas Highlands, of course, they've got state's leading scorer in Scott Drought, but they're supported well. They have other good people to help him out. But Scott's the key to that ball club, and he can get into a scoring bench that can really hurt you.
Yeah, well, we're real concerned with Scott, and he can put the ball in the basket. Plus, last night, this new kid, he helped the other kids on the floor. And, you know, Coach Shields has got some ball players other than Scott Drought. It's just that he's an all-state player. He can get you 50 on a given night. The Blasing game in Cali has just come so far. And as a matter of fact, they played with us this summer in the AAU program down in Frankfurt. But the Cox kid's playing good for him, gives him good size, and should is just kind of one of those sleepers in there. He'll go to the boards, and he won't make many mistakes, and he'll shoot free throws.
Well, Bobby, as we said to Kenny, no matter what happens tonight, congratulations to you as coach and to your kids and to the people of Walton on a great year.
John, thanks. And once again, Coach Shields has done a tremendous job. You know, taking a kid like Scott Drought and molding the team together around a kid that's going to score 35 or 40 is a heck of an effort on his part.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Bobby, he's the head coach of the Walton Verona Bearcats. Stay tuned. We'll be back when we talk with Dale and Artie right after this timeout.
You've been listening to Countdown to Tip-Off. Now, stay tuned for the excitement of high school basketball right here on WSAI.
Testing? Am I on? Okay. Hey, Vern, this is your buddy Ernest, and these folks at the radio station have let me make this important announcement. Here it is. If you are within the sound of my voice, pick up a carton of trout milk and trout cottage cheese and some of that delicious trout orange juice and take it straight to Edna. And now, Vern, here's a blast from the past from our classic Stacks of Wax. Oh, I was...
Relive the action of this game for years to come on cassette tape. Cassette tapes make a great gift. Plus, the thrill can be recalled time after time after time. For a cassette copy of this game, call WSAI at 727-2500. 727-2500, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 p.m.
It's game time. Now listen and enjoy the fast tempo of high school basketball.
Tonight's Kentucky 9th Region Final is brought to you on WSAI by Fort Thomas Building and Loan, Desmond Brothers Insurance, Honda Suzuki, Tom Recton Heating and Air Conditioning, home of Bryan Furnaces and Air Conditioners, Trout Dairy, the Bellevue Fort Thomas Bank, the Northern Kentucky Vocational Technical School, Kentucky Motors, home of the smart parts, Walterman Insurance, the Kentucky National Bank, keeping step with the changing times, the Boone State Bank, and Davis Waterproofing. Also in part by Famous Recipe Fried Chicken of Northern Kentucky. Now let's go courtside with Dale, John, and Hardy.
Thank you very much, Dan Blaney, and once again, everyone, for the conclusion of the 1985-86 regular and postseason other than state tournament. How's that? We've got a championship for you tonight. The Bearcats of Walton Verona facing the Bluebirds of Fort Thomas Highlands. A special guest sitting in with us tonight on this one, on this championship game. He's the franchise from Boone County. His name is David Dinn, who's done an outstanding job in his career at Boone County High School. And let's go now to John Salyers and our special guest tonight, David Dinn. Here's John and David.
Thank you very much, David. You played Walton, you played Highlands, and I think this is going to be a great basketball game.
Yeah, we'll be. Depends how Highlands guards do and how Walton's baseline does.
David, you played Walton in the district finals, and your ball club beat them. You got into them pretty good. But they've played great basketball here in the regional tournament.
Yeah, they have been playing really good. Scotty and Kyle have been doing a real good job. And then the guards have really picked up the slack.
Scott Drought is a key for Highlands. He can score, and he can score them in bunches. But Bob Cowie and Cox and those other kids, last game have come on, Shewitt, and they're really supporting him. And did you see the ball game last night?
No, I didn't see it last night.
Scotty played probably most his complete ball game, and he's a great basketball player.
Yeah, he is. He's a great shooter in that, but he's got an awful good side cast out of Shewitt. Shewitt's passing game. They're really good players.
It's going to be a great basketball game. Who do you like?
I don't know. I'm keeping that to myself. I'll let you know after the game.
Okay, buddy.
Well, here's some trivia. We're going to fire a bunch of it to you tonight over the course of the ball game. Hope that you'll plan to be with us. Hardy, John, just 2 times in the history of Northern Kentucky high school basketball has a runner-up in the district tournament gone to the state tournament. Can you name me the schools and the years? We'll see if everybody knows. We'll give you the answer when we come back on WSAI.
Now is the time of year everyone is looking for ways to save money on income tax. At Boone State Bank and Trust Company, we have the perfect tax shelter, a Boone State Bank IRA. With most tax shelters, there seems to be some degree of risk, but a Boone State Bank insured IRA eliminates that risk, gives a high rate of return, and saves tax dollars. Boone State Bank is presently offering a 60-month 9.25% IRA with a compounded annual yield of 10.10%. With rates falling now is the time to take advantage of this excellent savings plan and saves tax dollars as well. Open a Boone State Bank IRA today. Member FDIC.
Are you paying too much for your automobile insurance? You may be thinking that all insurance rates are the same. That's definitely not true. The truth is, there's a good chance you can save some money on your automobile insurance by calling Desmond Brothers Insurance Agency. We'll quickly check with the many insurance companies we represent, such as the Great American Insurance Company. If you're paying more than we quote you, you should be getting your car insurance from us. Call Desmond Brothers and the Great American Insurance Company at 491-5100, or you can stop by 217 Fairfield Avenue in Bellevue.
Well, Hardy, John, can you got any basic idea to our trivia question?
I give.
Well, I don't know either. I just thought, no. 1959, William Grant. And 1957, Dixie Heights. Those are the only 2 times that district runners-up have gone to the state tournament. Got a lot of other trivia that we'll be passing along to you. Hardy, get a basic viewpoint on an overall about the game. Let's first take Highlands.
Well, I think Highlands playing the best basketball of any team in the region right now. It's very typical of Coach Kenny Seals and his coaching philosophy over the years. That's the way he always does it. He always likes this time of the year. He always strives for the first 3 weeks in March, and he's got his ball club, I think, playing the best they can. Starting 3 sophomores. Who would have ever thought that they could be in the regional finals doing that? But again, as we said last night, they're not sophomores now. They're juniors because they've already finished the sophomore year. And this is postseason play after that. Highlands is going to be a tough ball club to beat. However, I've got to think that last night, after Highlands knew they'd be playing Walton Verona instead of Campbell County, that could make a difference.
Well, what about Walton now? They've got as good an inside punch as you're going to find.
Bob Jones wouldn't say it, and Bobby Eads wouldn't say it. I still think they're Cinderella, and Cinderella's at the dance. You know what happened to Cinderella at midnight? The fact is, though, tonight's ball game, it's going to be over before midnight, and Cinderella did some magnificent things before then, so I don't think we should count the Bearcats out.
Let's go over to David Den. We talked about the game face of Bob Cowie. We talked about the tenacity of Scotty Benton last night. Let's take the 2 big guys on the inside and compare them. David, give us some inside thoughts on both Bob Cowie and Scott Benton.
Well, Cowie's definitely the most physical player, but Scott's got the mental and, the shooting's a lot better on his part.
How about from an overall standpoint, David, of just putting on some muscle in the paint?
I think Scotty will do the better job, even though Highlands they'll have 2 or 3 guys caving in on him, but he'll hang in there.
Okay, John, let's go to you and let's analyze not only that, but also guards.
I agree with about the toughness inside. Scott Benton, Highlands can't push him around any more than he was pushed around last night by Campbell County. And he handled that well, and he reacted to that. And maybe that woke him up a little bit, and he said, hey, I got to play some basketball. And that brought him up. I think the guard, of course, you've got Scotty Dowd for Highlands. He's the leading scorer in the state. You don't need to say any more about that. He can run the ball club. And I tell you, you don't want to be tied or too close to Highlands in the last 4 or 5 minutes of the ball game, because that's their game plan. If we're close, get the ball to Scotty, and he'll take over, and he's done that in the district tournament, or in the regional tournament. Stay tuned. We'll be back and talk a little more about Walton right after this timeout.
For several years now, we've been talking to you about IRAs and the Fort Thomas Building and Loan Association. An IRA at the Fort Thomas Building and Loan Association is a money-saving way to help your future financial needs while taking advantage of a tax break. For details about a Fort Thomas Building and Loan IRA, stop in at either location, 25 North Fort Thomas Avenue in Fort Thomas or 7612 Alexandria Pike in Alexandria. Fort Thomas Building and Loan Association, helping you plan for the future with savings today. Member FSLIC.
Summer skies are unfolding, summer roads unwinding, and Honda Suzuki of Florence wants you to have fun in the sun. Your Honda headquarters for the best in motorcycles. Honda Suzuki of Florence has the Nighthawk 650, the V65 Magnum, the Shadow, and the Shadow 500. Sales, selection, service, and low prices. Have fun in the sun. Visit Honda Suzuki of Florence. Get all the information on all the styles and models. Located at 6507 Dixie Highway, Florence, Kentucky. Or call 371-1212. Honda Suzuki of Florence.
Back live again, and we were talking about the guards of the 2 ball clubs, and I don't want to slight Darren Blasingame from Highlands, because Darren supports Scotty Dowd real well. Darren's a good shooter and quickness. Looking at Walton, they got a senior there, Sean Anderson. He's no question. He'll be the quickest kid on the floor tonight. Hard-nosed young man, and he can lead the ball club. The other guard is a freshman, Brett Eads. He's the son of Coach Bobby Eads. Brett's a good shooter, and he does an excellent job for a freshman. But we must remember he is just a freshman.
Well, we're getting ready to have the starting lineups introduced. With an introduction, let's go to Hardy Tribble.
Highlands tonight, dressed in the blue uniform, all blue. Walton Verona on the all blue, trimmed in white, while Highlands dressed in the blue fronts and white tops. And we should have Walton Verona introduced first. As the PA, Ron Siri, will call it for us, is now. Fans on both sides of the gymnasium rise to their feet to applaud the players as they will come to the floor. Bobby Eads and his Walton Verona Bearcats, 22 wins and 10 losses on this 1985-86 season, will start at one of the forwards, Kyle Bennett, a 6'4", 185-pound senior, averaging 20 points and nearly 9 rebounds. The other forward is Bart Noe, a 6', 155 sophomore, 5.5 points and 4 rebounds. Scott Benton will open up in the middle. He is a 6'7", 210-pound senior, averaging 21.5 points, 11 rebounds, and he picked up 30 points last night. At guards, it's Sean Anderson, another senior, 5'10", 155, and Brett Eads, a 5'8", 125 freshman, averaging nearly 7 points and 7 assists. Highlands, coached by Kenny Shields, a victory tonight would give them their 20th of the season. They've lost 10 times. Highlands will start. Marvin Cox, a 6'5", 160 sophomore, 4 points and 4 rebounds. He'll go along at the other forward with Mike Shewitt, a 6'3", 177 senior, 7.5 points. The center is Bob Cowie, a 6'5", 195 sophomore, 8.5 points and nearly 11 rebounds. And the 2 guards, 6'1", 160 sophomore, averaging 8.1 points, Darren Blasingame, and Scott Dowd, a 6'2", 170 senior, averaging almost 36 points a game, 5 rebounds. He's had 54 points in the 2 previous regional tournament appearances. Stay tuned. We'll return with tip-off here at Holmes right after these words on WSAI.
We've got the inside. I'm staying cool.
Staying Staying cool this summer can be easy with a Bryant high-efficiency air conditioner or heat pump from Tom Recton Heating and Air Conditioning. Plus, you'll get 100% of your highest monthly electric bill free after your Bryant unit has been installed. For complete details, call Tom Recton Heating and Air Conditioning at 261-8269. Tom Recton Heating and Air Conditioning, 179 Fairfield Avenue in Bellevue, is your Northern Kentucky Bryant dealer. They've got the inside on staying cool.
Knock, knock, Vern. Oh, knock, knock, Vern. Orange. Orange, you glad I'm back from Florida? Vern, that Florida's got some oranges. We talking Citrus City. And that's where they get all the oranges to make that all-natural trout orange juice. But let's pause for a moment of silence, Vern, and ask ourselves this important question. How many oranges gave their lives to become a gallon of trout orange juice? Know what I mean?
When it comes to banking, remember Fort Thomas Bellevue Bank, the bank that customers recommend for checking accounts, auto loans, and mortgage loans. Fort Thomas Bellevue Bank has a well-known professional staff with many years' service to the community and bank customers they serve, headed by Chester Rackey, the chairman. Fort Thomas Bellevue Bank also with 4 great locations, 2 in Fort Thomas, 1 in Bellevue, also in Dayton. That's Fort Thomas Bellevue Bank, the bank that customers recommend.
National anthem, and we're all set for championship. Don't forget that WSAI will be on the air Tuesday night with the Girls Region Championship, and Wednesday we'll start the big show in Lexington as we'll bring you the entire Kentucky State High School boys basketball tournament from Rupp Arena, Lexington, Kentucky. Well, here we go. If you're superstitious, I notice a lot of people behind me, Hardy, from Highlands sitting in the same place. They've been there for 2 games, identically the same spot. Walton folks doing the same thing.
Exactly. I think they put a chalk mark on the seat before they left last night.
Well, you can just get ready to sit back for a couple hours and enjoy basketball at its best. We've got the franchise from Walton, from Boone County, sitting in with us tonight. David Dinn. I'm Dale McMillan, along with Hardy Tribble and John Salyers. And tickled to death to have you with us. Hey, a little piece of trivia before we start off again, okay? 1942. Walton Verona played Hartford in the state tournament, and they lost 47-42. A prominent name in athletics. Scored 21 points against Walton. Any idea?
DeMoise.
Against
I don't know. I wasn't even born.
Well, it was Johnny Oldham of Western Kentucky University, the retiring AD. Trivia, thanks to Melvin Webster, made it all possible.
Is that it? I hope that's it.
No, we've got more.
Oh, God.
We've got more.
We're in big trouble.
Here we go. Scott Benton jumping for Walton. They'll be moving to your left. And Marvin Cox for Highlands, and they're going to your right. Tappers up. And control Highlands. Got him over and back. Scotty Drought had to dump it. He had to get rid of it. He was off balance. And when he fired to a teammate, it was behind the line.
Attention, that showed by the official that time, Cornbread Steffen. He had to make sure that he'd know what he'd seen, and he finally got the over and back call made.
Here's Brad Eads on the outside. Highlands setting up right now, and I don't know if it's a box and a chaser or a 2-3. No, they're boxing. They're going to put Cowie on Benton. Sean Anderson straight up, off to the left side to Bart, no. Back to Anderson straight away, no. Inside to Benton on the jump shot, got it, Benton. 2-0, Walton in control, and Highlands comes to the front court with Blassingame. Gives it up to Schuett. Schuett comes in low to Cowie. Cowie has the ball batted away, but Drought is there and sticks it up and in. For Scott to score this early, that'll pretty well tell you he's going to be on. That usually is the indication. We're tied for the first time at 2 apiece. Eads, left side now as it goes to Bartneau, into Benton on the baseline. It falls across the middle. And Schuett is there to get it for Highlands. They gave us the Blassingame. I would think Highlands would want a little quicker tempo than Walton.
Well, they tried to push the ball up the floor that time.
Here's Scotty Drought, top of the key. Beauty.
Now, the crip shot before doesn't tell you a lot. That shot's what tells you something, because that's out on the floor.
4-2. Highlands has the 2-point lead, but Eads drops one in on the wing. And we're tied. Now, that'll tell you something about a freshman.
Yeah, he's ready, too.
Off to the right side now. That's Marvin Cox. Man-to-man defense being used by Walton. Here's Bob Cowie up from 12, and it's no good. Bennett and Benton battle with it, and we've got a whistle. It's going to be a foul on Marvin Cox for shoving off on Bennett.
If you're interested as well about who's guarding Scott Stroud, well, it's Sean Anderson is drawing the starting here in the first quarter.
And I think that could be a problem because Sean Anderson about 3 inches shorter than Scott Stroud, and Scott Stroud can shoot right over him.
It's 4-4. Walton and Highlands are tied here in this championship of the 9th region. 5:58 to go. Eads again from the wing. Got it. Now Brett Eads. The box and a chaser will give you the wing shot and the baseline shot, and that is what Kenny Shields said earlier in the pregame show. Here's Blasingame. Dumps it inside to Marvin Cox. His shot is no good. Benton on the rebound. I'm not too sure that Cox didn't get hammered.
The Highlands people thought he did.
5 minutes and 34 seconds to go here in the first period. Anderson outside, 6-4. Walton has a 2-point lead. It's Martineau off to the left wing. His jump shot, yes. Martineau gives Highlands the biggest deficit. In other words, Walton by 4 at 8-4. Now Stroud goes to the corner, and he's been fouled. Going to go on Brett Eads. That's his first. The team that goes to the free throw line the most will win it. I think on an overall basis, that's pretty true with most basketball games. Stroud on the inbound receive for Highlands. Gives it off to Blasingame on the jump shot, and it's there. Blasingame. 8-6. Walton's lead 2. 5 minutes to go first quarter. Anderson for Walton in the front court. Back to Bartneau. Eads on the right wing. Lobs it into Bennett. Bennett underneath. The shot is in and out and back in again. Bennett has his first 2. 10-6. Walton Verona by 4. 4 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the first period. Brown alone in the left corner. He's fouled by Anderson. Second foul on Walton.
That's what I think Sean Anderson's mission is here in the ball game, is deny Scott the ball. They know they're going to shoot over him, but let's try to keep him from getting the basketball.
I think the two guys that have shadowed Scott Stroud the best would probably have been Girding from Newport Central Catholic and Kevin Murphy from Boone. Here's a shot taken by Cox at the corner, no good. Blasingame on a stick, and it's right there. Now there's a sophomore that's played at the second guard position, or played at the guard position all year. Gets in underneath and draws his ball club to within 2. Walton 10, Highlands 8. Eads comes in to Bent. Back to Anderson, straight up on the 20-footer. It's in and out. Rebound Cox of Highlands. Here's Blasingame across the timeline. A jump pass to Marvin Cox. Low post, batted around. Loose ball. Going to be taken by Benton. Gets it out to Anderson. Anderson works on Blasingame. Anderson inside. Battle away from him. Stewart comes away from it. Good defense on the part of Blasingame. So Highlands now could tie it up. Here's Stroud at the top of the key. The 20-foot jump shot. It's there. He's 3 for 3. Third time we've been tied. 3 minutes and 36 seconds to go. We're in the first period. Anderson for Walton, gives to Bartneau. Straight up Anderson, back to no left wing. The jump shot on the way. A line drive shot, and Stewart is there for Highlands to bring it down. Walton getting one shot and retreating. Ashcraft will come in. Here's Stroud again from the top of the circle. No good. Thrown off by Bennett. Walton.
Well, I tell you, Scotty's feeling it tonight, David Dent.
Yeah, he is. You can tell where he's pulling up from, but he's putting them in.
3:04 to go here in this first quarter. We're tied up at 10 apiece. Here's Bennett in the paint from 8, and it's good. Bennett. That's his 4th point. And Walton has a 2-point lead recaptured. Scott Stroud finds an opening, dumps off onto the left side to Cowie. His shot no good. Cox on a stick right there.
Great offensive inside positioning for the offensive boards by Cox, and give him a lot of credit for that play.
We're tied for the 4th time, this time at 12-all. 2:31 to go here in the first period. Eads on the right wing. It is off the side of the rim. Hits the back support and out of bounds. I said 2.5, 3 weeks ago when Cox came into the lineup, he gave Highlands a different dimension.
A crowd that we thought would be a little light tonight. All of a sudden, it's a full house.
We're tied up 12-all. Highlands got Stroud with the basketball. Finds an opening off to the right side from 14. No good. Rebound taken by Cox. Gets it back to Stroud in the paint. Has the ball batted away from him, and Bennett comes away with it. And Bennett has been fouled by Scott Stroud.
That's Scott's first. Perhaps a little frustration that time, having the ball taken away. He reached in. I think he was disappointed with himself, of course. 2:10 to play in the quarter. 12-12, the fourth time we've been tied. Walton has led by as many as 4. Highlands has never led in the ball game.
Well, Walton now in the front court. Eads bluffs from the top of the key. Goes over to Bennett from the wing. No good. And Cox is there to rebound it. 12-12. Walton and Highlands are tied. Stroud on the fall-away baseline jump shot. That's good again. That's his 8th. 14-12. Highlands by 2. With 1:42 to go in the first period. Eads gives to Bartneau. Back to Eads from the top of the key, and it's there. Brett Eads has his 6th. We're tied 5 times. Now at 14. 1:27 to go here in the first period. Stroud up from 17. Got it. That's his 5th basket. 10th point.
He's now hitting 5 of 7.
16-14. Highlands by 2. With 1:11 to go, and Stroud spears a pass out of play. Darren Poore will come into the lineup. Bartneau will get a breather. 1:10 to go in the first quarter. Highlands by 2 at 16-14. Eads gives it up to Bennett. Bennett on the baseline from 7 feet away, and it's good. Bennett is 6th. We're tied again, this time at 16-all. Stroud on the right wing from 15. Got it. Right now it's 18-16. Highlands over Walton Verona with 43 seconds and the clock ticking down in the first period. 9th Region Championship. Bennett in on the baseline. Got to have some help. Back of the wing. Ball batted away. Cowie is there, and Ashcraft's on his back. Ashcraft of Walton has his first, team's 3rd.
You know, Walton Verona has been down court, I think, 7 straight times, and Scott Benton has not touched the basketball, where the first 3 trips down, he touched it twice. So Walton has got to find a way, I think, to get the ball in Benton's hands.
18-16. Highlands by 2. 21 seconds to go here in the first period. Stroud at the top of the circle. Gives it off to Schuett. Mike Schuett back to Blasingame, 10 seconds. Schuett on the right wing to Blasingame. Top of the key, and that's Stroud. Looks up at the clock, moves to the left corner on the jump shot. It is there, and he was fouled by Ashcraft. The 4-point lead, Highlands, with 2 seconds to go, and it's their longest lead. We're in the first period. And to the free throw line will be Scott Stroud of Highlands. Scott gets ready, delivers it. It's in and out. Rebound Benton. And that ends the first quarter with a score. Highlands 20, Walton Verona 16. We'll be back on WSAI. Further action will continue. 9th Region from Covington Homes on WSAI. Well, we'll hold it here. Let's go to John Salyers. John?
David, Dan, what Hardy Tribble said about Walton being down the floor 7 or 8 times straight and Benton not touching the ball. Highlands was able to deny you the ball when you played them, and they played that defense very well. Do you see the same defense being played against Benton that was being played against you?
Yeah, same exact thing. You know, Cowie was chasing me, and now he's chasing Scott tonight. What Walton needs to do is to get the ball in Kyle's hand and let him shoot, because he can put the ball in his.
Kyle Bennett is the key in this situation. They got to get the ball to him and let Kyle score. He's going to have to be the big scorer tonight.
Yeah, definitely. If he can do it, he's shooting up 60-70% from the field. And then they'll start getting the ball to Scott. He'll put the ball into it.
David, a year ago you played in this ball game. What's the emotion like on championship Saturday night?
You're just all keyed up for it, and you're not going to let anybody get in your way to take it away from you. Even if you're down by 20, you're still going to fight till the finish.
Scott Drought hitting 7 of his 9 shots in the first quarter. He's got the feeling, hadn't he?
Yeah, definitely. He's really put the ball in tonight.
Here we go for second quarter action. Highlands 20. Walton Verona 16. Walton in the front court with it. It's Bennett. Gives off to Eads. Back to Bennett in the corner. Way outside to Brett Eads. Eads on the 19-foot jump shot. He got it. Eads now with 8.
Well, I tell you, there's another young man feeling it pretty good. He's hit 4 or 5, and for a freshman, he knows what he's doing.
Mike Stewart on a wing shot is no good, and Benton is there to box out for Walton, so the Bearcats could tie it up on this possession. Eads gives in the corner, right side, Bennett, into Benton. Benton's too deep, run a reverse layup, but this one is there. We're tied for the 7th time, and David, you had about 3 of them come off the front of the rim under that deep.
Yeah, I did. I was just coming up short, thinking about it too much.
Well, that one for Scotty laid down. Here now is Blassingame, top of the circle, no good. Loose ball out of bounds, and shot class Walton. Bennett comes down. He lands hard on his back, and the ball pops loose and goes out of place. May have some moisture wiped up. Then again, maybe it wasn't. Highlands will inbound it at their baseline. Here's Cox on the inbound play. Hearn has the ball batted away from him, and Benton is there to take it away. Well, if Walton connects here, it'd be a run of 6 straight. 6:55 to go in the second period. Bennett, again, right corner, straight up to Anderson at the top of the key. Into the left wing. Bart Noah's back in the lineup to Benton on the corner. It is no good. Rebound, Schuett. And he has been fouled from behind by Bart Noah. Now, the reason that is a problem, it now has put Highlands in the bonus very early.
Yeah, that's a key problem, is Walton does not want to do that. And again, you're always concerned about, well, if you bump Scott Drought or you try to reach in, and when they're in the bonus and you put him at the line, that generally is automatic, too.
Here's a guy that has really come on. Mike Schuett, 6'3", 177 junior.
One of only 2 seniors in the starting lineup. Everybody else sophomores.
His first shot is good.
Highlands has not yet made a substitution tonight. Walton has made 2. They have put 4 and Ashcraft in the lineup.
Mike Schuett at the line for Highlands again on the release. It's there. 2-point lead, Highlands, 22-20 with 6:40 to go in the second period. Brett Eads looks over to the bench, picks up some remarks from the coaching staff, and proceeds to work the offense. Here's Bennett, double team, hooks into the right corner to Sean Anderson. Into the low post, that is Bennett. His shot no good. Bart Noah goes up and fouled by Scott Drought. And that will be the second foul on Scott.
Well, that's the second foul on him. That's pretty early for him to have 2 fouls, David Denton.
Yeah, it is, and Walton should look at that and start taking it to him.
I think Billy Packer made a point, or some of the announcers made a point this afternoon in watching the NCAA tournaments. Sometimes you can shift things around and concentrate so much trying to foul somebody out, you lose your own continuity, and I'd have to agree with that. Here's Bart Noah at the line. A shot no good. What'd you see that last shot that LSU made to beat Memphis? Oh,
I'll tell you, that was a clutch basket.
Here's a shot again by Bart Noah. It is there. Highlands lead 22-21. 6:11 to go here in the second quarter. Blasting game of Highlands straight up. Off to the left wing and left corner. Matt Schuett, his jumper, beauty. Mike Schuett has 4 points this quarter. Gives Highlands a 3-point lead, 24-21. 5 minutes and 55 seconds to go in the second period. Bart Noah is loose on the left corner. His jump shot, no good. Bennett on a stick, no good. Back outside goes to Cowie. Walton started to retreat after the ball hit the iron. Here's Drought on a moving pass inside to Schuett. Schuett's shot is up and good. Walton's going to call a timeout. 5:35 1:32 to go, second quarter. Highlands 26, Walton 21. We'll be back on WSAI.
This is Chris Spillman. If you're faced with that difficult decision of what kind of job am I going to get, Northern Kentucky State Vocational Technical School will be able to help you. You'll find training in a variety of programs such as electronics, welding, business and office, cosmetology, data processing, and many other fields. Northern Kentucky State Vocational Technical School is fully accredited and approved for veterans training. Tuition is only $16 a month for Kentucky residents, and a financial aid is available. So if you or someone you know that might be interested in quality job training with high placement rate, call Northern Kentucky State Vocational Technical School at 292-2700. Regardless of your age, this state-operated educational facility can help you achieve your goals. That's Northern Kentucky State Vocational Technical School, 292-2700.
Well, we're back live. Highlands on top 26-21. We had a chance to eavesdrop on Kenny Shields that time. He talked all the time about defense, and he says, I don't care where Sean Anderson is, you forget him.
Well, here we go. Benton gets it to Anderson, to the left side to Bart. No, it is there, and he was fouled by Blasingame.
Great 2-on-1 break that time by Walton as Anderson kept it just the right time and dished it off to his left as No broke for the basket. He laid it up and in and also drew the personal foul. So good play that time. And to get back to John's comment, what Kenny is trying to say is, hey, Anderson is not going to shoot the ball on us, guys, so leave him alone.
Well, Bartno's free throws up and in. He completes the three-point play. 26-24, Highlands by 2. 5 minutes and 22 seconds to go here in this first half. Straight up, it's Blasingame. Left corner, Mike Hewitt on the jump shot. Beauty. That's his 8th point and the only bird to score here in the second quarter. 5:09 to go, second period. Highlands 28, Walton 24. The Walton Bearcats in the front court with Sean Anderson, right corner. Gives it back outside to Eads. Off to Bartno, into Benton. Benton on the jump shot. It is there. Benton. His 6th. So Walton draws to within 2 of Highlands, 28-26. And Mike Hewitt is loose, gives it now to Blasingame up from 12. It is no good off the front of the rim, but a foul on Walton. Foul is on Brett Eads.
That's his 2nd personal foul. He looks at the bench and says, hey, I didn't touch him.
Hey, Walton just made a substitution there. Darren Poore coming in for Sean Anderson, and they'll have to guard him.
They better guard him.
That young man can shoot.
That's a designated shooter.
So Blasingame will be at the line for 2. His first one's up. It is no good.
His pop could fill it up, couldn't he, John?
Sure could.
His dad had 67 points, and that's who Scott Droud, when he broke the record, that's whose record he broke. His second shot is on the way. Blasingame got it.
His uncle had 67. His dad, DJ.
You're right, Lloyd had it. 29-26. What I'm saying is talent runs in the whole family. Here's Benton at the low post. Turn around on the base, and he got it. 29-28, Walton to within 1. Highlands with Scott Droud in the front court. 4:24 to go here in the first half. Droud from 21 up, it's there. 16 for Scott Droud.
That's his first shot in this quarter.
31-28. Well, you see why Anderson was in the lineup. That was his position, his job defensively. Darren Poore, couple steps in, works it into Bennett, and we got kicking the ball out by Mike Hewitt.
Bill Taylor, Cornbread Steffen, working the ball game tonight. Officials out of the 8th region.
Well, Bennett gives to Eads into the right corner. Bennett back to Eads on the outside. Here's Benton, jump pass left corner, and we got a whistle. 3 seconds.
Turn it over. John, how many turnovers now for the Bearcats?
That's their 4th.
And Highlands?
4.
Okay.
31-28. Highlands has a 3-point lead. They've led by as much as 5. 3:53 to go. We're in the first half. Mike Hewitt of Highlands works it into Cowie. Cowie double team, turnaround jump shot off the back of the rim. No good, and a whistle. Pushing, it's on Droud. That's his first. Where'd he come from, John? I didn't see it. You or David, maybe I couldn't catch it.
He was on the left side of the basket, down on the baseline, and during the rebound, he put his hand in somebody's back, and the referee said he shoved, so with 3:44 to go in the first half, and Highlands on top by 3. Scott Drought on the bench with 3 fouls is a very key thing for the Bluebirds.
Well, Kevin Herget will come in. I thought Kevin did a great job last night in filling a role. Bart No will go to the free throw line for the 1-and-1. First one's up and in. Bart No is 3 out of 4 from the free throw line. Has been the only Bear foul to score. Highlands up 1. Let's see what Walton can do with it. It's Blasingame straight up. Highlands by 1, 31-30. Lead pass in the middle of Benton. There's Howie, and Benton bats it away. Darren Poore comes up with a loose ball, and it's Eads into the left corner, and a pass goes through the fingertips and out of bounds. It'll be touched last by Walton. Well, Highlands may have gotten a break on it. I believe they did. 31-30. 1-point lead, Highlands. 3:20 to go here in the second quarter. It's Blasingame. Blasingame up from 19. Got it. That's his 7th point. 33-30. Highlands by 3. Walton Verona's Darren Poore is in the right corner, straight up to Brett Eads. Left corner. Comes into Benton. Benton on the jump shot. It's there. Benton. His 10th. 33-32. Highlands still holds on by 1. Kevin Herget guarded by Darren Poore on a man-to-man. Here's Cowie. Cowie trying to force it up from 8, and he does. Got it. Cowie. About an 8-foot baseline jump shot. 35-32. Highlands by 3. Over Walton Verona. 2:35 to go in the second period. Eads gives to Darren Poore. Bluffs it to Eads straight up. Jump pass in the middle of Bennett. Bennett from 6. It is no good. Battling for it. No on a stick. It's there. Well, what a great inside rebound. His no went up against Bob Cowie that time. He's too little to do that. No, whipped it, but he did. 35-34. We've got walking called on Highlands.
That's their 7th turnover.
And Walton now will go 3/4 distance on the floor. 35-34. Highlands by 1 over Walton Verona. 2:07 to go here in the second quarter. Here's a lob pass inside to Bennett, and a block shot for Cowie. Oh! Only with a foul. They got him with a foul, but tell you what, Bob Cowie slapped about 9.5 inches of that Spalding right, or that Wilson jet right out of bounds, but apparently made some body contact along the way.
Dave, Bob got a little excited after that call, and in this kind of ball game, you got to keep your cool, and there's no sense of doing that. The referees are going to listen to it.
Yeah, the refs don't listen to you. You just got to keep your cool and go out and play hard and beat the other team and the ref.
Well, the first shot is up and in by Bennett. There's a timeout on the floor. Walton has tied Highlands at 35. That's where we are with 2:03 to go, second quarter. We'll be back on WSAI.
Kentucky Motors says whether your car has a big engine or a small engine, the firepower you need to keep moving is in AC spark plugs. In fact, today's smaller engines work harder and need extra power from a spark plug, and AC delivers. Every second, an AC spark plug fires 30 times and delivers up to 30,000 volts to give you the firepower your car needs. So stop at Kentucky Motor Stores or KOI affiliates and fire up. AC Delco, the smart parts. Over a quarter of a century serving all of northern Kentucky. That's a record to be proud of. But the Walterman Insurance Agency has an even prouder moment, and that is the fact that they've taken care of their clients, serving all of their insurance needs. Now, another proud moment. Walterman has just merged with the old and trusted Shep Mason Agency. To you, this means even greater service and convenience. Walterman and Shep Mason Insurance Agency, an independent agency that cares for their people. WSAI, Erlanger, Cincinnati.
As time comes back in, it'll be Kyle Bennett again going to the Walton Verona free throw line. His last one, which was good, tied this ball game at 35 apiece. That's the 8th time we've been tied tonight. Highlands is led by as many as 5. Walton Verona is led by as many as 4. Well, Bennett's free throw again is good. So Highlands down 1. Will come to the front court, and they face a trap press. Schuett gives it up to Cowie. Cowie, double team, works it into Blasingame on the baseline. Fakes, puts up a shot. Foul on Benton. Pretty good fake and a draw by the sophomore from Highlands.
Hey, Walton, or Highlands got a break that time because when Bob Cowie caught that lob pass on the sideline, he did travel and the referee didn't call it. So that kind of call really hurts Walton because they go on, they get the foul on one of the big guys inside.
That's sort of the double whammy on you. Here's Blassingame, who made a good pump fake at the baseline to get Benton committed. The shot of Blassingame is good. That's his 8th point. 36 all, we're tied. Highlands and Walton Verona, championship of the 9th region. 9th time now the game has been tied with 1:53 to go in the second quarter. Blassingame on the bottom half of the 1-and-1. Airborne, he got it. So the Birds go up 1. They go into a press. 2-2-1 press. Eads gives to Bennett, to Benton, right wing, Darren Poor. No problem with the press that time. 1:40 to be played here in the second period. Inside of Benton, and the ball kicked from Cox. Boy, did Walton get away with one there.
Because Cox almost got his hand on it and picked it up as a loose ball, but they say it touched on his shin.
Bennett will inbound it. Comes way outside to Eads. Gives to Bennett, into Benton. Benton on a fall away. It is no good. Tap way outside. Going to have to hustle for it. Loose ball taken by Bennett. Now to play, and what do we got?
It's Highlands ball off of Kyle Bennett.
Excellent hustle on the part of Bennett and Poor and Bob Cowie of Highlands.
And all three of them went to the floor. Little moisture now. We'll wipe that up. That's what you do in the championship game in the 9th region tournament. You got to sacrifice yourself, right, David?
Yes, definitely. You got to get on the floor and get after it. This is your last time, maybe.
It's the old saying, there's no tomorrow.
Well, Highlands now with 11. They've got a 1-point lead. They can extend it to 3. On this possession, here's Schuett in the middle on the turnaround jump shot, in and out, off to the left side, pulled down by Benton. Gives it up to Eads, 1:16 to go here in the second quarter. Eads, straight away, hooks left corner. Darren Poor bluffs the outside shot, gives to Eads. Lob pass into Bennett, foul called. Is it on Cowie or Herget?
It's on Herget. That's his first. Kevin was in the ball game last night. Came in late and eventually fouled out, but gave Highlands a lot of good support off the bench.
He gave them what they had to have, and that's time frame.
Protected Cowie, because Cowie had gotten 3 personal fouls at the time.
Bennett, first one, it's there. 37-37, we're tied. How many?
That's the 10th time.
Well, Bennett gets ready one more time. If he does, it'd be his 10th point. 1:08 to go here in the second period. Bennett's shot is airborne. No good. Rebound, Herget of Highlands. 1:04. Will Highlands run it down for 1?
I don't think so. No indication yet from the bench, and we're sitting right above the bench.
Well, here's a pass that gets up, and it's save a Blassingame. Almost went out of play. Blassingame way outside. 50 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Blassingame fades off into the right wing, gives it to Cowie straight up top of the key, back outside to Blassingame.
Yeah, they're settling in for a 1 shot, looks like, Dale.
Running the double high stack. You get your pop out, and you can also get a baseline from it. 30 seconds to go here in the second period. We're tied. Highlands 37, Walton Verona 37. Blassingame guarded by Eads on the point. Running it down for 1 shot. Blassingame all the way underneath. Partially blocked. Pulled down by Bennett. Benton got a hand on it, and Walton now they'll take 1 shot. 10 seconds to go. Eads on the right corner, lobs it into Benton. Benton on a jumper from the window, no good. Loose ball, foul called inside. Going to be on Benton, shoving off. No, Kyle Bennett. It's on Bennett.
Well, that's probably a break, because if it would have been on Benton, it would have been his second, and Kyle picked up his first, so each of them with 1, and that's good.
Going to put Cowie at the free throw line.
Walton still with a chance now to get the quarter's last field goal attempt with 4 seconds on the clock. Score tied at 37.
Top half of the 1-and-1 for Bob Cowie. The first one's in and out and back in again. He got a lot of roll on it, but it stays down 38-37, Highlands by 1 with 4 seconds to go in the second period. Bob Cowie in the bottom half of the 1-and-1. Triggers it. It's there. Highlands by 2. Eads gets ready to come in with 4 seconds, comes in across the timeline. In the middle to Benton at the free throw line. It is no good. First half ends. Highlands 39. Walton Verona 37. Will continue on WSAI.
We're Kentucky, Kentucky National Bank. We're the bank that starts out with you. We help to make you grow. Committed to the best in you. We're here to let you know. We're stepping out to meet you. We want to be a part of every plan in your future. Every dream in your heart.
Kentucky National Banks, stepping out to meet you with a new look, a new commitment, a new feeling of pride in Kentucky. Serving you in Kenton and Boone County. Kentucky National Banks, where you're banking with hometown friends.
We're Kentucky National Bank. We're stepping out to meet you. Kentucky National Bank.
Member FDIC.
Honey, do you have those buckets yet? The water's up to the 3rd step and it's still rising.
Here they are. Boy, I never thought the basement would flood this badly.
I told you we should have called Davis Waterproofing before it started to rain.
Davis Waterproofing? You know I don't trust those big companies.
Davis Waterproofing is a local company at 6459 DeCourcy in Covington, serving Boone, Kenton, and Campbell counties. And they're fully bonded and insured. All it takes is a phone call.
Just a phone call? That's easier than draining this basement.
It would have been. Now start bailing.
Before the spring rains invade your basement, call the basement specialists, Davis Waterproofing, at 356-6671.
It is halftime here at Holmes High School, the site of this 1986 9th Region Basketball Tournament. And at the half, Highlands on top of Walton Verona, 39-37. I'm not sure we gave you this before, but these ball clubs, this is the second meeting this year between them. The first one won by Highlands in the regular season, 79-67. Tonight, Walton Verona is hanging tough in a ball game that has been tied 10 times. It was the last time at 37 apiece. Highlands has led by as many as 5. Walton Verona has led by as many as 4 points in this ball game. Now let's take a look at some of the individual scoring stats and also some team stats. Here with that information is John Stallions.
Very much, Hardy. First, we'll look at Walton Verona. Brett Eads had 8 points. Scott Benton had 10. Cal Bennett had 9, and Bart No had 10. Shooting for Walton Verona, they were 15 of 28 from the field for 53%. They went to the foul line 8 times. They converted on 7 of those for 87.5%. They had 11 rebounds, and they turned the ball over 5 times. Looking at Highlands, Darren Blasingame with 9, Scott Dowd with 16, Bob Cowie with 4, Mike Schuett with 8, and Marvin Cox with 2. Shooting, Highlands was 16 of 26 from the field for 61%. They were 7 of 8 also from the line for 87.5%. They had 12 rebounds, and they turned the ball over 7 times. The score was tied 10 times in the first half, and the lead changed hands 3 times. And I think Highlands showed us that they do have a supporting cast, because when Scott Dowd went to the bench at 3:44 of the second quarter with 3 fouls on him, Highlands was on top 31-30, and they're still on top 39-37 here at half. And David, we saw an excellent first half.
Yeah, we did, and when Scott Dowd got out of the game, I figured Walton would maybe pick up some ground, but not to be. Highlands held them off.
Do you see any signs of anyone being more tired than the other?
No. I mean, the high-scoring game, I think, gives the advantage to Highlands, being that they like to run and gun a little bit more, but I don't see any signs of tiredness so far.
To pick up on that, David, that comment about high scoring, I think this first half has been a very high-scoring first half. Do you think that the ball clubs now in the second half will maybe try to get a little bit more patient with it?
Yeah, if Walton can get the lead and control, I think they'll try to slow it down a little bit more and go for the high percentage shot.
Now, will Scott Dowd come back and start the third quarter, in your opinion?
I think so. Scott gets himself in trouble when he tries to go to the offensive board. That's where he gets most of his fouls.
Hardy, we talked with Bill Code. Of course, everybody knows Bill Code. He was a head coach in Northern Kentucky for a lot of years. We talked with him out in the lobby before the game, and he said he expected a very high-scoring ball game. He says because both ball clubs have some scores on each side, and he expects to see a lot of points on the scoreboard. 39-37 at half. That shows you we're going to have a great second half, I'm sure. You stay tuned and listen to it all on WSAI.
Now is the time of year everyone is looking for ways to save money on income tax. At Boone State Bank and Trust Company, we have the perfect tax shelter, a Boone State Bank IRA. With most tax shelters, there seems to be some degree of risk, but a Boone State Bank insured IRA eliminates that risk, gives a high rate of return, and saves tax dollars. Boone State Bank is presently offering a 60-month 9.25% IRA with a compounded annual yield of 10.10%. With rates falling now is the time to take advantage of this excellent savings plan and saves tax dollars as well. Open a Boone State Bank IRA today. Member FDIC.
Are you paying too much for your automobile insurance? You may be thinking that all insurance rates are the same. That's definitely not true. The truth is, there's a good chance you can save some money on your automobile insurance by calling Desmond Brothers Insurance Agency. We'll quickly check with the many insurance companies we represent, such as the Great American Insurance Company. If you're paying more than we quote you, you should be getting your car insurance from us. Call Desmond Brothers and the Great American Insurance Company at 491-5100, or you can stop by 217 Fairfield Avenue in Bellevue.
Summer skies are unfolding, summer roads unwinding, and Honda Suzuki of Florence wants you to have fun in the sun. Your Honda headquarters for the best in motorcycles. Honda Suzuki of Florence has the Nighthawk 650, the V65 Magna, the Shadow, and the Shadow 500. Sales, selection, service, and low prices. Have fun in the sun. Visit Honda Suzuki of Florence. Get all the information on all the styles and models. Located at 6507 Dixie Highway, Florence, Kentucky. Or call 371-1212. Honda Suzuki of Florence.
Last night in the pregame coaches show, when John Salyers asked Coach Bobbies of Walton Verona about scoring, he said, we need 20 points out of Benton and Bennett. Well, they got 43 in the game last night, and he also won the game rather convincingly, 72-54. Tonight, after the first half, Benton has 10, Bennett has 9. That's 19. So, John, you might say they're about halfway home there tonight on that 40-point number.
They're on target, and I would think in tonight's game they would need somewhere around 40 or 45 points between those two, and they're on target with that. And I think see how quick that Highlands can pick back up on this thing. If Scott Drought starts the second half, which I'm sure he will. He had 16 points in the first half, and it will be important to see how quick he can get back into the flow of the ball game, because he was definitely in the flow when he went out.
You know, it's interesting. You look back at Scott Drought in the first quarter, he took 9 shots. He made 7 of them. In the second quarter, he took 1 shot, and he made that shot, so he's 8 of 10 for the first half. While Benton of Walton Verona, I have him down hitting on 5 of 8 shots. So both those players hitting extremely well. And they're going to have to continue to do that. And again, Walton is going to continue to have to work hard to get the ball to Scott Benton and get it down to him low, because that's where he likes it. He can turn around. He likes to play with his back to the basket, but he can turn and fire it up. Both ball clubs have made their rear appearance onto the floor here at halftime of the 9th Region Championship ball game. And we'd like to pass along a couple of words about the city of Walton. They are conducting a park fund drive. They've already gathered pledges for $65,000, and it's a proposed community park that is going to include playgrounds for preschool and older grades, volleyball courts, basketball courts, a couple of baseball fields, and a soccer field, plus an open play area, family picnic area, shelter, table, grills, jogging, fitness, parking. They've got it all, and they'd like for you to contact City Hall, if you would, the Walton City Hall. If you'd like to make a contribution, the number at the Walton City Hall for their proposed community park is 485-4383. Stay tuned. We'll return with the tip-off, or not really the tip-off, but taking the ball out of bounds to begin third quarter play right here on WSAI.
Are you paying too much for your automobile insurance? You may be thinking that all insurance rates are the same. That's definitely not true. The truth is, there's a good chance you can save some money on your automobile insurance by calling Desmond Brothers Insurance Agency. We'll quickly check with the many insurance companies we represent, such as the Great American Insurance Company. If you're paying more than we quote you, you should be getting your car insurance from us. Call Desmond Brothers and the Great American Insurance Company at 491-5100, or you can stop by 217 Fairfield Avenue in Bellevue. For several years now, we've been talking to you about IRAs and the Fort Thomas Building and Loan Association. An IRA at the Fort Thomas Building and Loan Association is a money-saving way to help your future financial needs while taking advantage of a tax break. For details about a Fort Thomas Building and Loan IRA, stop in at either location, 25 North Fort Thomas Avenue in Fort Thomas or 7612 Alexandria Pike in Alexandria. Fort Thomas Building and Loan Association, helping you plan for the future with savings today. Member FSLIC.
Party trivia. Are you ready? How many teams were in the Kentucky State High School basketball tournament in 1942? There were 14. How many were there, John?
No, more than one.
There were 4. That's when Kentucky broke off into sections because of the gas rationing of World War II. Here we go. Highlands on the inbounds pass, and it goes to Scotty Drought, who pulls the trigger from the corner, and it goes out of play. So that answers our question about whether or not Scott Drought will start the third period or not. Flashing game, Drought, Cowie, Cox, Hewitt. Walton comes right back with Eads, No, Anderson, Bennett, and Benton. Eads off to the right side, gives to Anderson. 39-37, 2-point lead, Highlands. Martineau gives to Eads on the jump shot, and the wing is good.
Well, I'll tell you, Bart has just been filling it up so well tonight. That's 10 points for the freshman. Ties the ball game at 39 apiece for the 11th time.
7:13 to go here in this third quarter. Here's Drought. He's open on the corner on the wing shot, and he got it. You do not give Scott that much daylight. 41-39.
Yeah, he had a lot of it that time, about 4 inches.
41-39. Highlands by 2.
He only needs 1.5.
That's right. Martineau into the left corner. Back out to Eads on the wing shot. It is in and out. Cowie is there to rebound it for Highlands. Gives to Drought. Scott comes in across the 10-second line. Will set it up. Gets a Cowie screen from the top of the circle, and he gets it. 20 now for Drought. It's a 4-point Highlands lead. 43-39. 6 minutes, 30 seconds to go in the third period. Eads off into the left corner. Bennett's jump shot is up and in. Bennett. 11 now for Kyle Bennett. Walton back to within 2. Highlands with a leather in the front court with 6:16 to go in the third quarter. Here's Blasingame from the top of the circle, and he buries it through the nylon. Both ball clubs scorching the ropes. Highlands by 4. They've led by as much as 5.
That's right, and I think they've answered one question for us. Both teams, they're not going to hold the ball. Still going to be a high-scoring game.
Here's a foul. Bennett took a shot from the corner. It was no good. Mike Hewitt went after the rebound, and Anderson got him on the back. Second foul on Anderson.
Walton wants a timeout.
Timeout on the floor. 5:57 to go, third quarter. Highlands 45, Walton Verona 41. We'll be back on WSAI.
Knock, knock, Vern. Oh, knock, knock, Vern. Orange. Orange, you glad I'm back from Florida? Phew, Vern, that Florida's got some oranges. We talking Citrus City. And that's where they get all the oranges to make that all-natural trout orange juice. But let's pause for a moment of silence, Vern, and ask ourselves this important question. How many helpless, naive, trusting oranges were betrayed and skinned alive to become a gallon of trout orange juice? Makes you think, huh, Vern?
We've got the inside on staying cool.
Let Tom Recton Heating and Air Conditioning install a high-efficiency Bryant air conditioning unit or heat pump in your home. Pre-season discounts are now in effect, and now is the time to plan for the hot days of summer. Plus, Tom Recton Heating and Air Conditioning and Bryant will pay your highest monthly electric bill after your Bryant unit is installed. Go ahead, get the inside on staying cool this summer. Call Tom Recton Heating and Air Conditioning at 261-8269, your Northern Kentucky Bryant dealer.
We'd like to remind you again, we'll bring you the entire Kentucky State boys basketball tournament starting next Wednesday at about 12:45 or so. Hope that you'll plan to be with us. Here's Stewart from the wing from Highlands. It is no good. Crowd on the rebound. Walton standing a little bit. Here's Crowd from 15 off the front of the rim. No good. Cox is there to rebound. Stick back. Got it. It's now the longest lead for Highlands, 47-41. Cox went in for the layup. Well, Brad Eads for Walton. Back off to the right side to Anderson. He walked with it. Bluffed the pass into the right. And then thought about it and tried to bring it back to the left side. Darren Poore will come in to replace Sean Anderson. 47-41. Highlands by 6. They could climb on it by 8 if they can convert on this possession. Hewitt is open on the jump shot, and he got it. Mike Hewitt had 8 points in the second quarter, and he has opened up an 8-point lead. Highlands trying to blow it open here in the third quarter. 5:07 to go. It's Bennett off to the left corner. Darren Poore shot on the jump. It's good.
Has a big basket for Walton Verona. Pulls them back to within 6.
The shooting percentage this third period is phenomenal right now. Here's Highlands on the inbounds pass. Blasingame gives on the outside to Drought. Drought works on Darren Poore on the jump shot. It's good. 22 now for Scott. Again, Highlands by 8, 51-43. 4 minutes and 42 seconds to go here in the third period. Championship of the 9th region. Benton on the baseline. His jump shot falls across the rim, and a foul on Ashcraft.
His third. He was a little bit too over-aggressive inside, plus the fact that both Cowie and Cox did a great job of gaining inside position on him. They leaned into him.
Well, Blasingame will bring it up the floor. This time, Highlands could go up by 10. Mike Schuett gives to Blasingame onto the left corner to Schuett. Schuett looks in low to Cowie. Back to Schuett on the corner. It's in and out. Rebound Benton. So Walton now will come into the offensive floor with a chance to cut it to 6 with 4:08 to go in the third period. Bennett leads it to the left side to Darren Poore, and the jump shot is off the side of the rim, no good. And Benton on a stick, yes, and a foul, and it's going to be on Cowie. I'm not sure. I think it is, but
Walton Verona has not picked up a great number of offensive rebounds and stickbacks, but when they do, they make it happen in grand fashion. That was a good example by Scott Benton, and Bart Noe did the same thing earlier in the ball game. And again, David Dinn, you're one of the premier rebounders in this 9th region, and again, I think its position is perhaps the key.
Yeah, that's the key word there. When you see your teammate in his eyes going to shoot it, you go for position, and, you get it sometimes.
Well, Benton goes to the line. His free throw is good. Completes a three-point play. Highlands by 5 at 51-46. Crowd off to the right side, and we got a whistle, and they're going to count the basket. The foul is on Darren Poore. That'll be his first. Give Drought his 24th point and a chance to shoot at the line. 53-46. Highlands by 7. Brad Martineau will come in.
David, I don't...
Poore will go out. Go ahead, John.
David, I don't know if Walton has got anybody that can stay on Scott Drought one-on-one. They may be thinking about a zone and getting a tall guy out there on top to keep that shot.
Yeah, that's true. And then I think Walton's starting to show some signs that they're a little tired in that right now because they're not as hustling as much as they were.
Well, the shot at Drought is good. He completes a three-point play. 54-46. Highlands by 8. 3:42 to go in the third period. Ead, top of the key to Bennett. Left corner, Martineau. Around the perimeter it goes. Bennett now from 17. It's there. Bennett. That's his 13th. 54-48. Highlands by 6. Crowd sets up now from 19. It's off the side of the rim. No good. Stroud makes a move inside, foul by Ashcraft, and that is his
fourth personal foul, a foul coming before the shot, which Stroud managed to put in, but they'll take that basket away. Will not give it to him and put him at the free throw line. Nope, they won't. They're still in the common foul situation.
54-48, 6-point lead, Highlands. Stroud on the inbounds, jump shot, corner, and it's good. 56-48. Highlands back by 8. Sean Anderson will come into the Walton lineup at the next opportunity. 3:04 to go here in the third period. Eads gives to Bennett. Back to the left side to Bartneau. No from 17, got it. That's his 12th. Highlands holds by 6. 2:48 to go in the third period. Blassingame really rifles himself to the front court. Gives it off to Mike Jewett. Jewett from 18, got it. Boy, you talk about taking some pressure away. Jewett has done it in the second quarter, and he's still coming on in the third.
Okay, he's established himself as a scorer also.
58-50. Highlands by 8. Here's Eads on the right corner. It is no good. Benton battles with it, and he's on the back of Marvin Cox. For Benton.
That's just Scott's second personal foul, so he's still in good shape in that category. And again, David, I thought had a real good straight line into that one. And boy, I'll tell you, if you're behind the player, you better really jump about a foot over his head if you hope to get the ball and not get a foul call.
Yeah, the officials can't see it when you're jumping from behind, and there's a lot of times where there's a bunch of room in between you, but they just assume that you're on their back, and usually your arm's getting the ball. But I don't know. They just don't see it sometimes.
Here we go. Marvin Cox on the 1-and-1. It's on the way. No good. Benton rebounds it for Walton. Bearcats down to 8 to the Bluebirds. 58-50 with 2:17 to go here in the third quarter. This is WSAI, Erlanger, Cincinnati. Anderson into the right wing to Bennett, and Bennett's foul. Chewett got him, and that's the first foul on Mike Chewett. It's only the second team foul. Now, the 9th region winner will play the 14th region, and in all probability, it will be Hazard coming out of that 14th region. And the state tournament can be heard live on WSAI. Eads on the right wing for Walton Verona. Into Benton. Benton on a turnaround. No good. I think he forced that one. Rebound goes to Highlands. Stroud across the timeline. 1:51 to go here in this quarter. Here's Stroud shot. No good. And Bennett for Walton is there to come away with it. Highlands by 8. 58-50 over Walton. And walking is called. He's getting ready, I think, to pass the thing away, and simply shuffled his feet. Walks it. Highlands gets it back, and a chance to go up at 10. 1:33 to go. Mike Jewett on the wing shot. It's in and out. Rebound is taken by Bennett, and he has been fouled by Bob Cowie. That is his third.
Walton now will be making a third straight trip down the floor. Down 8.
They've got a chance to cut to 6 if they can convert on this possession. 1:21 to go. Here in this third quarter, here's Bennett on a double pump, and it's good. Bennett, that's his 15th. 58-52. Highlands by 6. The ball in the hands of Stroud across the 10-second line. 1:03 to go here in this third quarter. Highlands for 6. Stroud trying to work from a screen from Cowie, and got a 5-second count. Not enough penetration, so turn it over.
How many is that, John?
That's the 8th turnover in the first half.
Eads gives it up off to the left side. Deneau back to Eads into the right corner to Anderson. Straight up to Eads, back to Anderson in the middle now to Bennett off the window from 8. It is no good. Rebound Cowie. And Walton may have gotten away with one. Bartneau comes down pretty hard. Here's Stroud with 31 seconds to go and passes it off to Cox. Back to Stroud. Stroud on a jump pass to Stewart underneath. The shot is no good. Benton is there for a rebound, and a foul is on Cox.
Oh, that's a big turnaround. That was a sure 2 points that time by Highlands. Not only did they miss the shot, Walton gets the basketball, and they get a personal foul called against Highlands.
The first pass, John Saggers, at Stroud made inside was about as good a pass as he's made in the tournament.
He made 3 or 4 of those last night. He's made a couple tonight, but he spotted Schuett wide open, breaking to the basket, and dumped it off to him, and Schuett just missed the layup.
Well, Walton with a chance to close to within 4 if they can connect. 58-52. Highlands by 6. Anderson in the right wing, straight up to no. Works it into Benton. Benton on the jump shot. It is there. Down to 2 seconds. Here's the shot by Blasingame, a little short. That ends the third quarter. Highlands 58, Walton Verona 54. We'll be back on WSAI.
Does your car's engine performance run from hot to cold? If so, it could be you've got the wrong heat range spark plugs. And Kentucky Motor Stores or KOI affiliates has the thing to help cure that poor performance. AC Copper Core spark plugs. The AC Copper Core tip design runs hot for cold engine performance. And the copper gets rid of excess heat when the engine runs hot. So if you think your car has the wrong heat range spark plugs, see your Kentucky Motor Stores or KOI affiliate. They have AC Copper Core spark plugs for most domestic cars, light trucks, and imports. AC Delco, the smart parts. When it comes to banking, remember Fort Thomas Bellevue Bank, the bank that customers recommend for checking accounts, auto loans, and mortgage loans. Fort Thomas Bellevue Bank has a well-known professional staff with many years service to the community and bank customers they serve, headed by Chester Rackey, the chairman. Fort Thomas Bellevue Bank also with 4 great locations, 2 in Fort Thomas, 1 in Bellevue, also in Dayton. That's Fort Thomas Bellevue Bank, the bank that customers recommend.
WSAI. Scott Stroud with 27 points after 3. Bennett and Benton for Walton Verona, each with 15, so they're 3/4 of the way home for their total of 40 that I think the coach says they must have for a win in this ball game. Stroud now, this is 3 straight games he has scored 27. Well, Walton with a chance to cut the lead to 2. Benton on the jump shot, he does so. 17 for Benton. Highlands 58, Walton Verona 56. That's 6 straight points now out of the Bearcats. 7:40 to go here in the fourth quarter in the championship. Stroud on the wing. His shot is on the way, no good. Rebound by Bart, no. Has it batted away from him, and Highlands goes out of bounds with it. Great effort on the part of Mike Schuett. He went out of bounds with it, but you're not going to give him anything except all the credit in the world for the effort. Going to have some moisture wiped up. David Din, they're coming for the home stretch now, and now 7 minutes and 31 seconds, and I guess if your Highlands up by 2, it's going to seem like eternity.
Yeah, it is going to seem like that. And that last basket by Scotty was a big basket to lift Walton's morale up, and we just have to wait and see what happens.
Here we go. Walton now could tie it up. Everybody standing on the Walton side. Benton has been fouled by Schuett. Well, I tell you, if you're not from Walton directly, I think they picked up the fringe tonight. People, I think, are looking for the underdog. They want to go with the underdog, and they've climbed right with this Walton bandwagon. Benton will go to the line now to shoot the 1-and-1. Both clubs in the bonus. Benton's first one's good. 58-57, Highlands by 1. So Benton could tie it up. On the way, he does so. 12 times now the game has been tied. Here is the inbound pass, and taken by Schuett. They say he walked with it. 8 straight points. Walton put on the pressure. Momentum is with the Bearcats. There's a timeout on the floor. 7:16 to go in the championship. Highlands 8, Walton Verona 58, and we'll be back on WSAI.
This is Amy Schmacky. If you're faced with that difficult decision of what kind of job am I going to get, Northern Kentucky State Vocational Technical School will be able to help you. You'll find training in a variety of programs such as electronics, welding, business and office, cosmetology, data processing, and many other fields. Northern Kentucky State Vocational Technical School is fully accredited and approved for veterans training. Tuition is only $16 a month for Kentucky residents, and financial aid is available. So if you or someone you know might be interested in quality job training with high placement rate, call Northern Kentucky State Vocational Technical School at 292-2700. Regardless of your age, this state-operated educational facility can help you achieve your goals. That's Northern Kentucky State Vocational Technical School, 292-2700.
There's a very important part of the game, and we'll go back to David Dinn. People at Boone County were wearing shirts that said Boone County sixth man. Walton right now is drawing back on it, David. Talking about the fans.
Yeah, that whole side's over there standing up, and that really helped Walton's morale in that. There's Scotty with another shot.
Here's Benton on a turnaround. Got it. Well, Walton on top, 60-58. They've run a string, Hardy. Got a foul on Anderson. Reaching.
I don't know if either one of you guys saw it or not, but Scott Benton and Scott Drought stood at the mid-floor and talked to each other. And Scotty pointed to him. He said, it's either me or you. And they were laughing. And that's great. They challenged each other. That's neat.
Who said, both of them are named Scott. Which one said it?
Scott Benton said that to Drought. He pointed to his chest, his own chest, then he pointed to Scotty and said, it's one of us.
Well, here's Drought at the line. The first one is good. He'll get another one. It's on the way. It is there. 29 points for Drought. We're tied. 60-60. Walton and Highlands in the championship of the 9th region for 1986. Martineau gives to the right side to Brett Eads. Eads to No, to Anderson, back to No at the top of the circle. To Anderson, bluffs it, now goes with it, and it's there. Anderson. That's his first two of the night. That's also his first shot of the night. 62-60, Walton by one. Stroud jumps a pass in the middle, and we're going to have a possession. It would go to Highlands. The possession on a jump goes to Highlands. 6:23 to go. Benton reached out and was tied up. I think it was Cox or Stewart. So Highlands inbounds at their baseline. Comes out to Drought. Drought finds an opening up from 8 feet away. Yes, Drought. 31 for Drought. We're tied 62 all. That's the 14th time we've been tied. It's Martineau, 6:07 to go here in the fourth period. Eads wide open, comes in the middle to Bennett. Ball loose on the floor. We're going to have a possession. This one goes to Walton. Cox and Bennett go down in the paint after the loose leather. So Walton will inbound it at their baseline. Walton Verona. Bennett gets ready, gives it to Eads. Eads on the right wing. 5:54 to go. We're in the fourth period. The 9th Region Championship for 1986. Stay tuned immediately following for all the festivities. We'll name the all-region team, tournament team. Anderson way outside. Gives it up to Brett Eads. Back to Anderson. Almost walked with it. I can't see behind us, but I know the Walton fans are standing, and I think Highlands fans behind us, John, might be as well. There's a good number of them, I'll tell you.
I think Walton would be content to let this thing.
Well, here's an inside move on Benton and a foul on Cowie. That's going to be number 4 on Cowie. So he is in trouble.
What I was getting ready to say, I think Walton would be content to let Highlands set back in that zone and just work it around the perimeter.
Foul is on Cowie. Okay, yeah, that's right. And that's going to put Benton at the line. Couldn't find him out there for a minute. Benton on the top half of the 1-and-1. First one's on the way. It's there. Not sure about college? Investigate your alternatives at the Northern Kentucky State Vocational Technical Center. Call 292-2711 for details. Benton again. Got it. 64-62. Walton by 2. 5:19 to go here in the championship. Drought on a pass, and the ball is stolen by Anderson of Walton Verona. So the Bearcats come up with a big defensive play. Highlands drops back to jam up the paint. And Walton Verona is going to hold it. They're going to force Highlands to come out after the ball. That's because Cowie has 4 fouls on him to try to get it into Benton if they can. Cox has 2 fouls. Stroud has 3. 4 minutes, 45 seconds to go. Here is Benton. Benton on the baseline. He walks with it. Turn it right back to Highlands. (64-62), Walton Verona by 2. Stroud. Wrap-around dribble at the top of the key. Penetrates, jumps off into Cox. His shot is up, no good. Tapped up to Cowie. It's there. Big basket. 6 now for Cowie, and we're tied. 64-64. 15 times the game has been tied. Clock continuing its downward plunge in the 4th period. 4:15 to go. Walton now running it around the perimeter. Eads in the right wing. We're tied at 64 apiece. Bennett in the deep right corner to Eads. Back to Bennett. To Eads, an overload right. Highlands has overshifted defensively. Into Benton on the jump shot. That's good. 10 points this quarter for Benton. 25 on the night. 66-64. Here now is Stroud penetrating. Gives it off to Stewart from the left wing. Got it. Mike Stewart has 14. We're tied again at 66 all.
That's the 16th time.
3 minutes, 34 seconds to go here in the 4th period. Anderson gives some time, comes across the timeline and gives to Eads. I don't think he touched the window. They have just got all metal and nylon.
What a gutty performance.
Walton up 2, 68-66. 2 minutes, 53 seconds to go. Stroud at the free throw line from 15. Yes. 33 for Stroud. As we're tied again for the 17th time. 2:40 to be played here in the 4th quarter. Benton at the high post. Gives it off to Anderson. Highlands now is coming out. Benton on the jump shot. Got it. We've got ourselves a duel. He's got the feeling, baby. He's got the feeling. 70-68. Here's a steal by Walton. Sean Anderson. 2:19 to go. Across the 10-second line, Anderson gives to Eads. Highlands trapping on the ball. Anderson fouled by Cowie. That's it. Cowie is fouled out of the ball game with 2 minutes and 12 seconds left to play. And Walton Verona holding a 2-point lead. What a super sophomore for Highlands.
I tell you, what a super basketball game.
I tell you, it's been used before, guys, but I tell you, do you believe in miracles? This is one of the best ones that I've seen in a long time. David, how about you?
That's a real shootout. It's a great game. I'm glad I'm here.
Joe Wire will come into the lineup now. Tell you a little bit about Joe on statistics. 6'1", 160, a junior. And Anderson will go to the free throw line. Highlands trails Walton by 2, 70-68. 2:12 to go here in the 4th quarter. Sean Anderson, top half of the 1-and-1. Gets ready, eyes it, pulls the trigger. It's in the book. Write it down for Sean. 3-point lead, Walton Verona. So Sean Anderson, one more time, gets ready. Bottom half of the 1-and-1. A lot of time, reaches back on the release, got it. It's there. Bearcats up 4. That equals their longest lead. And Sean Anderson turned a wrist as he slapped the ball out of play and fell on his left wrist. They're going to take a look at him now. The officials come over. And there's a timeout on the floor. 2:11 to go here in this 4th quarter. 72-68. They're going to take a look at the left wrist. Bobby Eads comes over now to take a look at him, and he thinks he broke it. You know, I'm not sure if there's a...
It saw look like he's the way he talked to Bobby Eads. I think that's what he said to him, John.
I don't know if it's his wrist. It's hurting him.
It's his fingers or his wrist.
You think he got hit in the groin?
You know, I'd like to make an editorial comment if I'm allowed.
All right, you got the microphone.
I hope the classification takes someplace and finds itself a rock and crawls under it.
This sure does not do much for those who support classification.
Well, here we go. And those viewpoints were that of John Savage. Here's out for Highlands. The Birds are up or down by 4. Stroud on the baseline, runs all the way through, puts up a shot off the front of the rim, no good. Loose ball, tapped by Cox, no good. The foul on Benton. His third.
Well, I tell you, Walton got away with one there. That layup by Scotty Stroud was laying up on the rim, and somebody from Walton went up and got their hand in the net. That could have been called defensive basket interference, but the referees didn't call it. So Cox is going to the line, shooting 2.
I tell you, Kenny Shields may have got by with 1-2, John, because he stood up and his official came over to give the signal, and he pointed to him to go ahead and sit down. You know, the rule is you get up off the bench at the tee.
Well, the second shot by Cox is good. 72-70. Highlands have come right back. They're down by 2 with 1:55 to go here in the fourth period. Eads gives to Bartneau. Into Benton. The ball batted away, and passing game comes up with it for Highlands. Gives it up to Stroud. Stroud tries to work on Bartneau. Takes him inside. A jump pass into Cox, and a foul call. Going to go on Bennett. And I think Walton may call a timeout. There's a timeout on the floor, 1:38 to go here in the fourth quarter. It is Walton 72, Highlands 70. We'll be back on WSAI.
Over a quarter of a century serving all of northern Kentucky. That's a record to be proud of. But the Walterman Insurance Agency has an even prouder moment, and that is the fact that they've taken care of their clients, serving all of their insurance needs. Now, another proud moment. Walterman has just merged with the old and trusted Shep Mason Agency. To you, this means even greater service and convenience. Walterman and Shep Mason Insurance Agency, an independent agency that cares for their people.
Relive the action of this game for years to come on cassette tape. Cassette tapes make a great gift. Plus, the thrill can be recalled time after time after time. For a cassette copy of this game, call WSAI at 727-2500. 727-2500, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 p.m.
Walton Verona called that timeout, and John Anderson will return to their lineup. And again, we thought it was a wrist injury, and again, I think he got a little shot below the belt. But he is taking a couple of deep breaths, leaned over, and he feels good, John. He's coming back, and as play resumes, it'll be Marvin Cox at the Highlands free throw line. He can tie the ball game at 72 apiece if he can get them both down, and if he does, it'll be the 18th time this game has been tied.
Now Cox will be there. He has a total of 6 points. He's hit his last 2 from the free throw line. Marvin Cox shooting 2, could tie it up for Highlands. The first one is good.
Well, he stepped up there cool as a cucumber and knocked those foul shots down. The last 3, they haven't touched rim or anything.
72-71. Walton by 1. Cox could erase it. He got it. Highlands now runs the defensive pressure. 72-72. 1:35 to go. Eads gives up to Bartneau in the front court. Back to Eads. Ball batted away. Stroud comes away with it. All the way underneath, puts it up. It is good. Stroud. Highlands with 1:16 to go. Here's Eads off to the right side. Anderson. Back to Eads straight away. Left side to Bartneau. Wild pass into Benton. The ball batted away. Highlands comes up with it. Stroud with 1:02 to go. Has been fouled by Bennett. You talk about complexions changing in a hurry.
Well, they certainly have, with now 60 seconds left to go, and Highlands up 2, and IO. Instant offense, Scott Stroud at the line.
Well, I tell you, Walton on top by 4, and all of a sudden it turned around, and Highlands put the good pressure defense on it, and they're playing. Things going their way right now.
Highlands, Scotty Stroud at the line, 1-1. The first one's on the way, got it. 36 for Scott Stroud. 75-72, Highlands by 3. Stroud on the bottom half of the 1-1. It's airborne. It's in the book. A minute to go in the championship. Darren Ford on the outside gives off to Anderson to Eads. Eads on the lob pass to Benton. Benton on the jump shot. Got it. 76-74. Stroud gives it off to the left side to Blasingame. 44 seconds to be played. It's Stroud now way to outside of the timeline. 38 seconds to go. Off to Blasingame. Off to Joe Wire. 33 seconds to go, and a foul is on Eads or Bennett.
I believe it's on Kyle Bennett. Reaching in, third personal foul on Kyle, and that's the free throw line. Perhaps the best player that Walton Verona could foul just from the point of view that he just came in the lineup. He's cold. He's not been playing.
I think that was shown by the expression on Bill Petty, the assistant coach's face, when he didn't get a foul.
Here's
on Drought.
Joe Wire's first one. It is no good. Rebound Bennett. So Walton with 27 seconds to go. They're down to 76-74. Anderson off to the right side. That is Darren Ford. And Walton will call a timeout. They do. There's timeout on the floor. 18 seconds to go. Highlands 76, Walton 74. We'll be back on WSAI.
We're Kentucky, Kentucky National Bank. We're the bank that starts out with you. We help to make you grow. Committed to the best in you. We're here to let you know. We're stepping out to meet you. We want to be a part of every plan in your future, every dream in your heart.
We're Kentucky, just like you. Growing, building, changing to meet the times, but with a rich heritage and pride in our traditions. Kentucky National Bank, hometown friends with a new look and a new commitment, stepping out to meet you.
We're Kentucky, Kentucky National Bank. We're stepping out to meet you. Kentucky National Bank.
Member FDIC.
At home high school, 9th region championship. 18 seconds to go. Highlands on top, 76-74. Walton with the ball, and I think as you look around, you see that basketball is just more than a game in Kentucky. It's a way of life. If you see the drained faces on so many people sitting around watching this basketball game.
Everybody will be standing for this last 18 seconds.
Here we go. Walton will inbound it. And it is inbounded to Anderson. Ashcraft is back in the lineup. Bennett off to the right side. 12 seconds to go. Bennett from the top of the key. No good. Tapped up, batted, and goes out of bounds. Touch last by Walton. 7 seconds to go, and the Bluebirds call a timeout. Highlands 76, Walton 74. We'll be back on WSAI.
Now is the time of year everyone is looking for ways to save money on income tax. At Boone State Bank and Trust Company, we have the perfect tax shelter, a Boone State Bank IRA. With most tax shelters, there seems to be some degree of risk, but a Boone State Bank insured IRA eliminates that risk, gives a high rate of return, and saves tax dollars. Boone State Bank is presently offering a 60-month 9.25% IRA with a compounded annual yield of 10.10%. With rates falling now is the time to take advantage of this excellent savings plan and saves tax dollars as well. Open a Boone State Bank IRA today. Member FDIC.
Walton Verona now with 7 seconds to go in the ball game and down 2 points. They'll give the basketball up to Highlands, and Highlands obviously is going to inbound the ball. They want it in Scott Drough's hands, and Walton Verona is going to have to commit a personal foul, I think, and so it's paramount, I think, for when Highlands inbounds the ball, they must get it into Scott Drough's hands because he's who they want at the free throw line. Blasingame will be the trigger man.
As we get set, Chad Johnson in the lineup now, replacing Bennett. Inbounds pass comes to Drought. Drought comes across the line with 4 seconds. Drought from behind, we got a whistle. Foul on Anderson. 3 seconds to go, and Sean Anderson picks up his 4th personal foul. And Scott Drought will go to the free throw line. Top half of the 1-1.
Here's Hardy. Well, just 3 seconds on the clock, and Highlands now will pull everybody away from the line. They'll put everybody back down to the opposite end of the court, and Scott Stroud will be left there alone. Walton will leave up Brett Eads, Bart No, Sean Anderson, Kyle Bennett to grab the rebound. Now, this is a critical free throw. If Scott can hit this one, it's turn out the lights because the party is over. If he misses it, Walton Verona sure to get the rebound. The shot would probably be from half court to tie it at 76.
They do not have any timeouts remaining.
That's right.
So Stroud gets ready on the top half of the 1-and-1. This one could do it. It's airborne. It's done.
That's the ball game.
We'll get one more time.
They can walk off the court now. They just turn their backs and walk away.
77-74. Scott Stroud again. Got it. 39 for Scotty. 78-74, and it goes out of play on the inbounds pass. It will be Highlands' ball with just 2 seconds to go. Well, with Kenny Shields standing up, he could be in jeopardy of a technical, but now it's over. Your champion for 1986 for the 9th region, the Bluebirds of Fort Thomas Highlands, as they defeat Walton Verona 78-74. Stay tuned.
You've been listening to high school basketball on WSAI.
Tonight's Kentucky 9th Region Championship game between Walton and Highlands has been brought to you on WSAI by Fort Thomas Building and Loan, Desmond Insurance, Honda Suzuki of Florence, Tom Rickton Heating and Air Conditioning, Trout Dairy, Bellevue Fort Thomas Bank, the Northern Kentucky Vocational Technical School, Kentucky Motors, the home of the smart parts, Walter Insurance, the Kentucky National Bank, keeping step with the changing times, the Boone State Bank, and Davis Waterproofing, also in part by Famous Recipe Fried Chicken of Northern Kentucky. We'll be back with more after this.
Honey, do you have those buckets yet? The water's up to the 3rd step and it's still rising.
Here they are. Boy, I never thought the basement would flood this badly.
I told you we should have called Davis Waterproofing before it started to rain.
Davis Waterproofing? You know I don't trust those big companies.
Davis Waterproofing is a local company at 6459 DeCourcy in Covington, serving Boone, Kenton, and Campbell counties. And they're fully bonded and insured. All it takes is a phone call.
Just a phone call? That's easier than draining this basement.
It would have been. Now start bailing.
Before the spring rains invade your basement, call the basement specialists, Davis Waterproofing, at 356-6671.
Are you paying too much for your automobile insurance? You may be thinking that all insurance rates are the same. That's definitely not true. The truth is, there's a good chance you can save some money on your automobile insurance by calling Desmond Brothers Insurance Agency. We'll quickly check with the many insurance companies we represent, such as the Great American Insurance Company. If you're paying more than we quote you, you should be getting your car insurance from us. Call Desmond Brothers and the Great American Insurance Company at 491-5100, or you can stop by 217 Fairfield Avenue in Bellevue.
You've heard the excitement of the game. Now, let's rejoin your play-by-play team for Coach's comments.
Good ball game all the way around. Here now at center court is John Satyers with Kenny Shields.
Thank you very much, Dale. And we are with Kenny and Kenny, 1986 region champs, buddy.
Oh, this is a great thrill. This is the 4th time, but I love it. It never gets old. We're very fortunate.
Kenny, it was a great basketball game. Walton played their hearts out. Great basketball game.
Scott Benton could not have put on a better performance than he put on here today. And their whole team, little Brett Eads was a freshman. What a job did he ever do, it was a great job. And like I say, we were forced, they went to the stall. And, it was in 1979 when Holmes went to the stall in the same situation, which we had to gamble. We went and gambled a little bit, and it paid off.
Kenny, you're down by 4 points with something like 2:18 to go in the ball game. Things didn't look real good at that point, and Walton had it going.
Marvin Cox made 4 critical free throws. And, of course, Grant was there when he had to be. Joey Wire was involved in that real big steal over here. You know, he made a tremendous play for us. And, Cal was out of the game with foul trouble. Schuett had played well basically the entire night. It was just a great win against a well-coached team and a tremendous team. And like I said, they had Benton. We just couldn't stop them. We did everything we had to try to stop them. We couldn't. So it's just a great win, John. And do you know who won down the road?
Haven't heard. I know we don't have any idea yet, but I think, Kenny, you'll represent us well in the state tournament, and I think you win some basketball games there, buddy.
Well, I feel like we've got an excellent opportunity, and I think it's nice that Giles going to get a chance to play down there. And like I say, he's capable, and it's not easy down here. We saw what happened with Jimmy Pangallo a few years ago. It's very difficult to go down there. If he can go down there and get into his stroke, he can treat the people of Kentucky to a tremendous exhibition.
I don't want to look too far ahead, but looking ahead to the state tournament now, can your ball club handle the pressure that they're going to face down there? It's a different world.
Well, having been there 3 previous times, and we won our first game in '79, and we got not upset, but we got beat by Warren Central, who had two Division I players we didn't know about. And then next year, Owensboro, one of the top teams in the tournament, beat us down there in a decent ball game. We came back, and the pressure's great, but you got to go down there and do your thing. And if our sophomores can just forget their youth, and if Scott can get on the roll and Schuett can keep going on our bench, because then we got a shot doing anything. I already told Mr. Turner, I told him Wednesday, I said, Mr. Turner, our principal, you got to make arrangements for next Thursday we're playing at 1, and then of course Friday night we're playing at 7:30. Thank you, Bill. And then, of course, on Saturday morning, our cheerleaders are going down and representing the 9th region along with Covington County. I got 2 daughters that are cheerleaders. And my senior daughter, I wanted this bad for her. I wanted this bad also for our assistant principal who's retiring, Bill Doan. He's leaving. He's been with us for 10 or 11 years, and he's been through 4 of these. And I told him after the game here that all day I kept thinking I just love the witness for Bill's last year as our assistant principal. And I want to say hello to Covey. I promised him that. Say hello to my mom and dad. There's Fort Lauderdale now. We're happy. It's a great thing.
We were talking with Kenny Shields, the head coach of Highlands, who just won this basketball game, 78-74. They're the 1986 region champs. We'll be back here at Holmes High School with more 9th region tournament wrap-up right after this.
Summer skies are unfolding, summer roads unwinding, and Honda Suzuki of Florence wants you to have fun in the sun. Your Honda headquarters for the best in motorcycles. Honda Suzuki of Florence has the Nighthawk 650, the V65 Magnum, the Shadow, and the Shadow 500. Sales, selection, service, and low prices. Have fun in the sun. Visit Honda Suzuki of Florence. Get all the information on all the styles and models. Located at 6507 Dixie Highway, Florence, Kentucky. Or call 371-1212. Honda Suzuki of Florence.
When it comes to banking, remember Fort Thomas Bellevue Bank, the bank that customers recommend for checking accounts, auto loans, and mortgage loans. Fort Thomas Bellevue Bank has a well-known professional staff with many years service to the community and bank customers they serve, headed by Chester Rackey, the chairman. Fort Thomas Bellevue Bank also with 4 great locations, 2 in Fort Thomas, 1 in Bellevue, also in Dayton. That's Fort Thomas Bellevue Bank, the bank that customers recommend. WSAI, Erlanger, Cincinnati.
Well, we're once again back at Covington Holmes, the site of this 9th region basketball tournament. It's all over, and Highlands is your #1 ball club. They will represent the 9th region in the Kentucky State High School basketball tournament next week. We're going to have the all-tournament team, and then we'll try to interview as many of the kids as we possibly can, so stay with us. This is WSAI, Erlanger, Cincinnati. Now the runners-up, the Bearcats of Walton Verona, will accept the runner-up trophy, and if you gave awards for guts, heart, and just overall desire and dedication, you'd come right back with an award to Walton Verona.
They have just now gone out to pick up their runner-up award for second-place finish in the 9th region tournament. Pulled out the tough one to have to go out and pick up when you know you got so close. As they final score of 78-74, and now Highlands going out to pick up their 9th region championship trophy, as the floor is literally covered with people tonight who've come out of the stands, of course mostly fans of Highlands and their ball club. John Salyers, he's down circulating amongst them. He's going to have a lot of interviews for us as we proceed through this thing. We're going to have the all-tournament team announced here very shortly. And let's give me that microphone. I want to talk with David Dent here for a couple of minutes. And David has been our special guest from Boone County. And David, of course, you were in the role just a year ago that Highlands is enjoying right now. And what kind of feeling was that?
Oh, it's the best feeling of my life. And, you know, you just look forward to playing at Rupp Arena. And that's a great honor. I wish them luck.
You've also had some situations much like Walton Verona is feeling right now, and that's probably when you got beat in this opening round game of this year's 9th Region Tournament. That's got to be that's the true agony of defeat.
Yeah, but that's life. You got to live with it, you know. Life can't be all ups. It has its downs, too.
David, you've already announced you're going to be playing your college basketball at Wright State University in Dayton, Ohio, coached by Ralph Underhill, a former Lloyd Memorial High School graduate and Tennessee Tech graduate. And we'd like to wish you the best of luck as you move on to that new phase of your life.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it.
That's going to be quite a program. They're going in, we understand, to a new Coliseum there, also moving up from Division II to Division I.
Yeah, they are. And right now, they're still in the hunt for the national championship for Division II. And, you know, they're a great program. I'm happy to be going there.
I understand that there's going to be some nice, maybe you first year make some nice trips with the ball club.
Yeah, I plan on going up there and showing them I can play. And, you know, hopefully me and Scotty Benton, I'm talking about, can both get some playing time.
Yeah, we're real proud, I know, you know, from a group of Northern Kentucky people, as 2 representatives going to Wright State. As far as I know, the first 2 Northern Kentuckians to ever go to Wright State.
Yeah, that's true. We're the first.
Well, again, David, we thank you for being with us tonight. And,
Yeah, Hardy, I wanted to ask, David, you committed early to go to college. What prompted you to make an early decision, and why did you pick Wright State?
Well, they just had the situation that I liked. They had a first-class program, and, you know, I play basketball because I enjoy it. It's not like I want it to be a job or nothing. I play it for the fun of it.
But why did you commit early?
Well, I figured just get the pressure off my shoulders, and like I said, I like the situation up there.
I agree with your decision 100%. David, it's been fun watching you throughout your high school career, and we are going to enjoy watching you as much as we can see you play in person and on TV with Wright State. Good luck to you.
Thanks, and thanks for having me. You guys do a great job for us kids.
Well, we appreciate it, David. Thank you very much. Stay tuned. We'll return here to Holmes High School, the site of the 9th Region Championship and the new 9th Region champion, as they come back, the Highlands Bluebirds to defeat Walton Verona 78-74. Stay tuned. We'll return on WSAI.
What's Northern Kentucky's most important natural resource? There's no question. It's our kids. And that's why Tom Cummins, a famous recipe fried chicken of Northern Kentucky, started the Famous Stars program and the famous Recipe Basketball Classic, simply to showcase our kids. This is Dale McMillan, and like you, I've seen firsthand what publicity and recognition means to kids and their schools. It all points to a sense of pride. Pride in academics, pride in athletics, pride in people. Over the last 6 years, Famous Recipe has honored thousands of Northern Kentucky kids, and it's all because Tom Cummins does take pride in our kids and in our home, Northern Kentucky. Now for the 7th year, Famous Recipe Fried Chicken of Northern Kentucky salutes Northern Kentucky kids.
Well, we're having the all-tournament team. Bob Cowie of Highlands, Terry Santos of Newport Central Catholic, Eric Girding of Newport Central Catholic, Jim Talby of Boone, Scott Benton, Tony Commodore, Kyle Bennett, those have all been named. Scott Stroud. That's 8. Well, that's it. That closes down the festivities. So now John Salyers is going to try to get as many of the kids to come over to join us as we can possibly get. And, Hardy, it's been a good region tournament, I think, from the standpoint of Bobby Logston and Gene Dupin, all the administration here at Covington Homes. They put on a great tournament.
Well, they certainly have, as this is a great place to play the basketball game here, one of the largest gymnasiums in the area. And they did a fine show, very hospitable folks, and we enjoy the opportunity to come down here and broadcast and bring it to you. John Sayers, he's out on the midst of the floor trying to gather up some Highlands players as they've already cut one net down. They're at the other end now cutting that net down. Scott Dowd wearing the net that has already come down, wearing that around his neck. And so Highlands will be moving on. They'll be playing at 1 o'clock on Thursday afternoon, and here comes John Sayers and Mike Schuett.
Mike, you had a great basketball game. Of course, everybody knows about Scott Drought for the Bluebirds, but tonight you were the supporting cast, and you did a great job.
Well, thanks a lot. You know, Scott, he pulls us through all the time. We always look to Scott in the big situations. And, I just got to fill my role, and, luckily I did, and we came through and won it.
Scott, or Mike, you had 14 points, and maybe you showed people you're more of a scorer than they thought you were.
Well, I always believed that I was a shooter. My sophomore year, I was, a shooter, and I'm just happy to be out here and be a part of the team and, be able to contribute my shooting skills, and, luckily we won again.
You look back on the year for Highlands, and it was times at the beginning of the year, maybe things didn't look so good, and but you guys peaked at the right time, and Thursday afternoon you'll get to put your show on down at Rupp Arena.
Yeah, we struggled all year, but Highlands is known for tournament time, so we kept pushing, kept plugging, and here we are.
I know you'd be the first to congratulate Walton and the job they did.
Oh, yes, they're a heck of a team, no doubt. Benton and Bennett are just tremendous. And, what can you say? They came this far, and I'm sure nobody even thought about Walton at the beginning of the year, and even when they came into the regional tournament, and they made it this far, and they deserve all the credit in the world, and I give it to them.
Congratulations, Mike, and go have some fun.
All right, thank you.
I'll go try to round up somebody else.
Okay, John, thank you very much. And let me have that sheet, John. Let me have that sheet, and we'll do the scoring for you here in the championship game. First for Walton Verona, it was Brett Eads, a fine young freshman, with a total of 10 points. Sean Anderson played a great floor ball game tonight. Sean had a total of 4 points. And Scott Benton had 31 points to lead his ball club for the second consecutive night. Kyle Bennett with 15, and Bart No with 12, Marty Ashcraft with 2. That's the unofficial scoring for Walton Verona. Back to the floor, and a super sophomore for Highlands, and John Sayers.
Thank you much. Dale with me is Darren Blassingame. And Darren, you're going to be around over there a couple more years, so you got to look forward to, but this is going to be a great feeling for you.
Oh, this is the best. The number one thing in the world, I've been hoping for this since the beginning of the year, for Scott, for everybody. I just want to go down to Rupp Arena and, just do our best, and we'll go down and try to win the state championship.
Darren, you're up by 1 point in the second quarter with 3:40 or something like that to go, and Scott gets his third foul and goes out of the ball game, and you picked up the show at that point. You scored some baskets, key baskets, and you guys got some other ball players out there, and you guys put on a show when Scott went out.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people don't think, that the other players, can't contribute, just Scott. But, we showed that, myself and our other teammates put the ball in the hole.
Darren, you got 2 more years. There's 2 other great sophomores, and you got other people off the bench that play for you. You've got a lot to look forward to out there at Highlands.
That's right, and we're just going to go down state junior year. We're going to go down our senior year.
Well, we'll see you Thursday at Rupp Arena, big guy.
Thanks.
Okay. Game. We got behind us now. Scott Drought and Scotty, you wrapped up a great year for you and a great senior year, and I know
it ain't over yet, John. It ain't over yet.
I am. It's a wonderful feeling. I've been in the final game 3 out of 4 years I was here. Last year we lost in the semis. 1 year we won it twice. We lost the one. Been on both ends of the stick. It's just a marvelous feeling. I'm glad I went out there for it.
Scotty, you've had a lot of pressure on you this year, and a lot of every time you hit the basketball floor, the best defensive man was coming after you. But I think coming into this tournament, you may have played your best 3 basketball games that you played all year.
Well, we felt a pickup in our game. Everybody was getting involved in the offense and everything. And true, I have been under a lot of pressure. I didn't want to admit it, but there's a lot of people out there that don't really appreciate me and everything that I do. But we won it in the end, and that's what counts.
Guys, a lot of times when you're the superstar, people come after you. They appreciate you, but they wish they had some of that talent. And you're going to get to show the state your talent down at Rupp Arena Thursday, and you got to be excited about that.
I'm just absolutely thrilled. This is the greatest feeling in the world. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
I know C.M. Newton, your coach in college at Vanderbilt, he was here last night to watch you, and you really got to appreciate him. He's a great guy to come here all this way and see you play. And I know he's excited about Scott Drought and Vanderbilt next year.
He's a wonderful man. He's one of the most honest coaches that I've ever met. And as far as I'm concerned, he's the second best coach in the world. Mr. Shields is the best coach in the world.
That's a great congratulations again to you, Scott.
All right, thanks. I appreciate it.
Scotty, we talked about 2 weeks ago, and I told you this might have started back when you were in the 4th grade.
Well, I started playing at the junior pro, and he was always getting me rides home from and everything. He and I played on a team with his son, and he introduced me to the game and everything, and it was a lot of fun.
Scotty, congratulations to you. Okay, let's get. We got Marvin, we got Bob Cowie in here. You couldn't find a better. If I'm going to start a franchise, I'm going with Big Red.
Bobby, you had a great tournament, and you made the all-tournament team, the 9th region all-tournament team as a sophomore. I know you're thrilled about that.
Yes, it's a big experience, so I hope it just got 2 more years coming, too. So sophomore year, I really enjoyed it. And it's a lot owed to Scott and my other teammates, mostly Mr. Shields. He's a heck of a coach. And Scott, he's just a heck of a player.
I tell you, that's the softest voice for the meanest game face I believe I've ever seen in my life.
I don't know.
You really came out to play, and you developed as a great sophomore. Of course, you've played a lot of ball games, and a lot of people around the tournament crowd are talking about what a great sophomore Bob Cowie is, and expecting a lot out of you down the road. So there'll be a lot of pressure on Bob Cowie down the road.
Yep, I hope there is. I'd like to have the pressure because I think I can do it.
Great year, Bob Cowie.
Thanks a lot.
Bob, wait a minute before you go. So our audience can see, put on your game face one time for John. We'll see that Thursday, won't we, down at Rupp Arena. Bob Cowie. Now, the guy that really, I think, put a different dimension into the Highlands Ball Club when he was inserted into the lineup, another super sophomore. Here's Marvin Cox with John Salyers.
Marvin, you had a great tournament, but I don't think there was any better time in the tournament down the stretch there when you went to the foul line and had those 4 foul shots.
I know. I had to make those throws, I know. And I was just so excited, to have them go in and win our region and be a sophomore and all. It was great.
Marvin, you had a big task tonight. You were part of the guys that guarded Scott Benton, and I know that you were there guarding him, and you'd like to tell the people what a great basketball player he is.
Oh, yes. Scott he's perhaps one of the greatest players I've played against. He seemed like he couldn't miss a shot. He just turned around and put it in like he was nothing. And so hard to stop him.
You have to come over here to me. You're too tall. I can't reach halfway across the floor. As you think about Thursday and Rupp Arena and the winner of the 14th region, we don't know who that is, probably Hazard. But what are your feelings about that?
Well, we just got to go out and play tough like we've been playing, and I think we can just pull out a win. You never know what can happen down in Rupp.
Well, and you too. We talked about some other sophomores. We talked to Darren Blassingham, Bob Cowie. You got to feel good about the Bluebirds' prospects down the road.
Yeah, I think we've got a great chance to have continued success year after year. We've got a lot of great sophomores coming up, I think, and we should just be the team to stop in upcoming years.
Congratulations, Marvin Cox.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you, John. We're trying to get Chester Turner, the principal, will be over here in just a minute. Chester's coming over. We're also going to have a couple of the other players to join us. Once again, let's go back down on the floor with John Salyers and Chester Turner, principal of Highlands.
Thank you very much, Dale. Kenny Tippett, principal at Woodford County, member of the Board of Control. Got his team in the state tournament. What, you got to be on the Board of Control to get a team in there or what?
No, just have a good team and a good coach like Kenny Shields and a lot of support from the student body like we had tonight.
Chester, you got to really be pleased with your kids and the way they've progressed through the years and peaked here in the tournament.
They're a fine group of kids, and of course Kenny always you never count Highlands out until it's over. As that famous philosopher Casey Stengel said, it's not over until it's over.
Chester, you had 2 minutes and 20 seconds or something like that to go in the ball game. Those things didn't look real good.
I kept hearing that we were out of it, but I don't give up.
And Walton, you got to congratulate them. They had a great year, and they're well coached, and the whole town of Walton's got to be thrilled with what happened for them.
Walton did a fine job tonight. They made a couple of crucial mistakes there near the end, and that was the turning point for us, and we capitalized on those. So I'm happy for our kids.
I don't know, for people who are listening from Fort Thomas, have there been any contingency plans? You know anything about that for Thursday or anything like that?
No, we're meeting in the gymnasium. There'll be a reception in the gym tonight for the team as soon as they leave here, and a few congratulatory remarks and so forth, and we'll do some announcing at that time. I have the tickets here in my hand.
Congratulations, Chester, and you always do a super job over there at Highlands.
Thank you very much. It's not me. It's all the fine people that work with me.
Chester Turner is the principal at Highlands.
Let's get Kevin Herget in here, Super Junior.
Kevin, come off the bench in key roles, and I know you got to feel good about what's happened here tonight.
It's a great feeling. Coach Shields all year, I've been playing like 6th or 7th man all year. I go in there and I bang the boards and just work guys over. I'm not much of an offensive type player because we got Scott and he does it all, but that was my role, and I played as well as I could, and I hope to satisfy with what I did.
These ball games in the tournament have been very physical. You'd look at Walton on paper, you wouldn't think they were that physical, but they play you very physical.
They're big, but they're not very stocky, or they don't have much weight on them, but they bang the boards very hard. Scott Benton and Kyle Bennett do a really good job, and we just went in there, and I just can't believe we won. It's great.
Well, you won, and congratulations.
Thank you.
There was another young man we wanted to try to get, Joe Wire. I don't know if Joe's back in the locker room right now or not, but his contribution and role was a very big part of this win tonight for Highlands, and everybody's trying to congratulate everybody at this particular point, and well, I guess all the birds are going to retreat back. That'll about wrap everything up from Covington Holmes here on the championship for this 1986 Region Basketball Tournament. We'll be back to give you the final details on WSAI.
Summer skies are unfolding, summer roads unwinding, and Honda Suzuki of Florence wants you to have fun in the sun. Your Honda headquarters for the best in motorcycles. Honda Suzuki of Florence has the Nighthawk 650, the V65 Magnum, the Shadow, and the Shadow 500. Sales, selection, service, and low prices. Have fun in the sun. Visit Honda Suzuki of Florence. Get all the information on all the styles and models. Located at 6507 Dixie Highway, Florence, Kentucky. Or call 371-1212. Honda Suzuki of Florence.
Over a quarter of a century serving all of northern Kentucky. That's a record to be proud of. But the Walterman Insurance Agency has an even prouder moment, and that is the fact that they've taken care of their clients, serving all of their insurance needs. Now, another proud moment. Walterman has just merged with the old and trusted Shep Mason Agency. To you, this means even greater service and convenience. Walterman and Shep Mason Insurance Agency, an independent agency that cares for their people.
Well, here's a gentleman right now that should be extremely pleased, not only with his ball club and his coach, but of the entire city. John Grubb, superintendent of the Walton Verona school system.
John, you really have to be pleased with what happened with your basketball team.
Well, we'd have been a lot more pleased if we could have made it down to Lexington, but our kids, I thought, performed well. They represented their school in a real good fashion, and we're real proud of the kids.
John, we talked with Bobby before the ball game, and the decision that he and the administration made to change things around at Walton for the basketball program, pick up a tougher schedule, and that worked out, I would think, as best as it could.
Well, of course, that's a long-range decision, and this year I think it's gone real well for us. We do have young kids on the ball club. We feel like we have talent all the way down through the 7th grade, and we're going to be heard from the next few years. So I think it's been real good for our program, and I feel like, I think our Board of Education feels like, and our coaching staff feels like, you simply have to play good competition, and that doesn't mean to be said in a derogatory manner to the other Class A schools. But year in and year out, we just didn't feel like we could play 18 games against a Class A schedule and compete in an open tournament at the end of the season. And there were some hard feelings, and we hope we can overcome that because we're working to improve our program.
John, any special events planned for the Bearcats in the next couple days? Any celebrations or anything like that for what they've done?
No, we were just kind of waiting to see about the outcome of tonight's game and what the schedule would be next week. We'll go back home, reflect a little bit on what's happened the last 2 or 3 nights, and we're just real proud of the kids.
Well, John, congratulations to you and the administration and your coaching staff and the people of Walton.
Well, we want to thank all you people at WSAI also. It's been real great having you. I'm glad you're going to be back with us next year. You do a great job, and the coverage is something I think is really needed in Northern Kentucky. Thank you.
Congratulations again.
Okay, it's John Grubbs, superintendent of the Walton Verona school system. Let's go now to John Salyers as he talks with Bobby Logston, who's tournament director here at Covington Holmes, on not only just a very well-run tournament, an extremely well-organized tournament. John?
Well, Bobby, I think we kicked things off down here with a little excitement with the tornado and that, and we ended up with a little excitement.
We sure did. Can't be more complimentary of not just the ball players, the fans. The crowds were terrific. Everything turned out very positive. Feel real good about everything.
The tournament I think there was a surprise with Walton in it, making it to the finals. But you talked to Bobby Eads, he's not surprised. He knew what these kids could do. And I think this is just indicative of how tough this region is and how hard these kids and all the schools go after one another.
Well, I agree with you 100%. I think the tournament couldn't have been paired. You couldn't have seeded the whole tournament any better. I think the drawings were terrific. I think all the games were very exciting, well attended. Everybody, I just can't be more complimentary of the crowd. They were just great.
Well, Bobby, from WSAI, I know from Dale and Hardy, myself, and the people back at the station, thanks to you and all the administration at Holmes for the hospitality that we received, and congratulations on a great tournament. Thank you again.
Okay, that's Bobby Logston, tournament director and athletic director here at Covington Holmes. Well, that wraps up our coverage for the 1986 9th Region Basketball Tournament. We want to take this time to extend a very, very, very strong professional job and a thank you to Dan Blaney, who has been doing 99% of our primary producing and directing for us during the course of the evening. Dan, thank you, not only personally but professionally. Our thanks go to John Saviers, Hardy Tribble, and to all the young men that sat in with us during the course of our coverage. The final score is all settled down and put in the book, and it is Highlands 78, Walton Verona 74. The Bluebirds of Fort Thomas Highlands are the champions for the 9th Region for 1986, and we'll be with the Bluebirds at Rupp Arena, coming up this coming Wednesday, starting on about 12:45 on WSAI. Thank you for being part of high school athletics, and thank you for being part of WSAI. I'm Dale McMillan for the entire crew. Good night, everybody.